Pirates awakened Conqueror at the beginning. Chapter 81-100. Chapter 81 _ The target of fire embers, Momoshiki Admiral. Whitebeard pirates. This is true of the red-haired pirates and the Revolutionary Army Dragon, as are many forces under the current king, Shichibukai. For a time, the reputation of Baizi and the Yanwang pirates overwhelmed the world. It was even called the strongest pirate group under the four emperors by countless pirates. And Baizi was also called by everyone after Whitebeard, Kaido of the Beasts, Charlotte Linlin, and the strongest man other than the redhead. Yanwang pirates were established only a few days ago, and they became the first person under the four emperors. The limelight was strong for a time, and they overwhelmed the four emperors. You must know that the four emperors have not been in the sea during this period of time. How to do it? A certain sea area, on the way to Fishman Island. Straw Hat Pirates. Wow, ha 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 ha. It's amazing. Ace can actually harden Kuzan Admiral, and that. Captain Baizi, he killed two big men again. Is he going to become the fifth emperor? The monsters in the New World are too strong. This guy actually has 3 kinds of devil fruits. How did he do it? Nami, drive into Fishman Island, and I'm going to fight Ace's Captain Shirasawa. Luffy jumped on the deck and yelled at Nami, who was adjusting her direction. Nico Robin, who was opening a newspaper on the deck, made a slight curve. She also admired Baizi, who blatantly killed Tenryubito. When Zoro heard Luffy's words, he bounced like he was hit with blood. I heard that. Baizi's knife is very powerful, let's try it out. Cut, it's my Sanji who wants to discuss the green algae head. How could it be your turn? I heard that the Empress is also here, so you must do well. The Nympho Sanji, his eyes are full of love, even if he is punched to the ground by Nami. A few days later. A sea surface more than 500 miles away from Fishman Island. Report Momoshiki Admiral, the island ahead found that Kaido of the Beasts Hawkins pirates is slaughtering people and killing innocent people. A Marine non-commissioned officer straightened his back and saluted the standard military salute, reporting the situation. Hearing the report from his subordinates, Momoshiki raised his eyebrows, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. Hawkins pirates just lost an epidemic queen, and it has only been a few days since they started unscrupulously courting death. Order the ship to move towards the island. Momoshiki immediately ordered the warship to go to the island where the Hawkins pirates were chaotic. As Marine Momoshiki, the most hated are those pirates who do nothing for evil. About half an hour later. Island in the dark. Boss Jin, Marine's Momoshiki Admiral is here. One of the subordinates reported to the flames with a pair of wings in front of him and flames rising from the back of his head, and today was their 3rd day on this island. Since the last Fishman Island incident, the Plague Queen was killed by Momoshiki Baizi and the two of them, jointly. Kaido of the Beasts immediately became furious and gave Yan Jajin a death order at the first time. Z is strong, but Momoshiki is not in this way. As long as they are single, they are not without a chance. Sure enough, the hard work paid off. They finally waited for Kuzan Kizaru, so they have the current scene. Very good. Go on, according to the original plan. After giving the order, Yan Jajin glanced at several marine battleships above the sea in the distance, and his eyes were full of ruthless light. Momoshiki Admiral, after today, there will be no such person in the marine. What a pity, a marine rokushiki and swordsmanship. The genius just fell on an unknown island like this, and in a few days, this gift will be enough for marines. Surprise. Muttering to himself, Yan Beast immediately ordered the 6 Sons of the Sky and several core combatants on the Kaido of the Beasts ship to go to the predetermined assassination location. Not only did he want Momoshiki to die this time, but he would not let the thousands of marines who came with him. Anyone leave. For this plan, Yan Zhaojin is not only equipped with core combat capabilities such as the 6 Sons of the Sky, but also a full 5 or 6,000, Kaido of the Beasts, pirate group, and the Hawkins pirate group is the one of them. This time, to destroy the entire Momoshiki team, the fire disaster is determined to win. On the shore of the island, Momoshige ordered more than 500 men to guard the boat on the shore, and the leader was a good vice admiral, which is enough in this place. Momoshige Admiral, proceed with caution. The vice admiral saw Momoshige heading towards the island with thousands of marine elites, and reminded aloud that, with Momoshige Admiral's strength, nothing would go wrong at all. Soon, with Momoshige's marching speed, he disappeared from sight of the coast. Everyone is scattered around. Be sure to ensure the safety of the warship, and keep an eye on the surrounding ships. Left by Momoshige, Admiral solemnly said to the surrounding subordinates, following Momoshige. Admiral who is stronger than a Kainu admiral, he did not dare to slack off. Yes, Vice Admiral. But at the moment when the voices of many marine elites fell, a bang, a black shadow turned into a streamer, and instantly appeared in front of the Vice Admiral, and immediately slashed it with a knife. Enemy attack. Everyone beware. That Vice Admiral's skilled samurai sword armament resisted, because from the offensive point of view, the strength of the person who came was extremely strong. When the claws crossed each other, the sound of the book's strong metal collision resounded. It's you, Drake. The Vice Admiral's pupils shrunk when he saw the attacking person. This person was originally Marine Rear Admiral. Later, he was found to be wanted by the army. At that time, he was just a colonel. Now Drake has become Kaido of the Beasts. One of the 6 sons of Linkong, the strength is more tyrannical than before. Scoff. No, there is one more person. As soon as the Vice Admiral finished speaking, he felt that his mouth was hit by a mammoth-like impact. The sound of bone cracking was heard instantly, and the next moment, the Vice Admiral turned into a meteor and flew out backwards. On the deck, he retreated a full 10 feet before stopping. Immediately, with a wow sound, a mouthful of blushing blood spurted out, apparently severely injured by a blow of such a total intensity. Peggy Wan. 6th son of the sky, another 6th son of the sky. Marine Vice Admiral, who spit out a mouthful of blood, his eyelids twitched wildly. Intuition tells him that all this is likely to be a conspiracy against Momoshige Admiral. The most important thing is that only one Drake is no opponent, and now there are 2 volleys. 6 sons, this shows that they are going to destroy all of them. If this is the case, then Momoshige Admiral's side is not good. You must notify Momoshige Admiral as soon as possible, there is danger. Immediately, the Vice Admiral didn't hesitate, took out a hazard warning pistol from his pocket in his left hand, and was about to shoot in the air. It's just that before the Vice Admiral's hand was raised, an arc slash instantly cut off the Vice Admiral's arm, and the blood-splattered Vice Admiral's face was all over his face. The person who shot was none other than Drake from Marine Rear Admiral a few years ago. Boy, dare to report in front of me, wishful thinking. Hey, what are you talking about with him? Just kill it. Let's go to everyone, kill these Marines and leave no one behind, solve them as soon as possible, Boss Jin is still waiting for us. Peggy immediately transformed into a thornback dragon, and opened its ferocious fangs to bite at the Vice Admiral, and 2 sharp claws also followed. He, yes, Peggy Wan-sama. Kill. Instant, there were thousands of crazy pirates, just like wolves swooping in, biting towards the many Marines, and a tragic battle quietly rose. Chapter 82 Momoshige is in danger. Unknown island, shore. Screams and screams continued one after another. The whole process lasted less than 5 minutes, and when I looked again, several battleships were lying on top of each other, and the bodies of Marine and pirates were lying upright. Poof. As Drake slashed out, the Marine Vice Admiral's head rose into the sky, and the fountain-like blood column at the neck was more than 2 meters high. The next moment, the Vice Admiral died with wide-eyed eyes. Past the last bit of consciousness, he knew that Momoshige Admiral was going to be in danger this time, but he couldn't see the end of Momoshige Admiral anymore. Marine Vice Admiral died. Drake and Peggy looked at each other with disdain, and even these rubbish bosses let them both come. It is no exaggeration to say that any one of them can destroy everyone. Okay, mission accomplished. Next, let's meet for a while with Marine's new Momoshiki Admiral. When we think of Admiral who is more powerful than a Kainu dying in our hands, we are very excited. Drake swept the battlefield, and the Marine was completely wiped out. They only lost dozens of people, and they won an absolute victory. Let's go quickly, Boss Jin is still waiting for our layout, huh? Peggy Wan thought about what happened next, and said with a laugh. Drake were chatting and laughing, and to be honest, this kind of task was no different to them than crushing an ant. It's interesting, I am afraid you won't be able to go back. Nightmare-like voice was uploaded from the rocks on the coast, and everyone was startled immediately, because none of them noticed that there was someone there just a moment ago. However, when Drake and Peggy Wan looked around and saw the figure, their calves softened and they almost fell to the ground. Bai Zi. How could it be? How could it be you? How could you be here? Seeing the person appearing on the rock as Bai Zi, who killed their boss of the Plague Queen a few days ago and is also their immediate boss, but isn't this guy supposed to be on Fishman Island, why did he suddenly appear here? Bad now, it's completely broken. Run. Everyone, run, be sure to tell Boss Jin about this and let him leave immediately. Without Drake's reminder, thousands of pirates swarmed directly towards the island, and in the blink of an eye they ran more than 10 meters away. As for Drake and Peggy Wan, they appeared in full, more than 100 feet away. Looking at the thousands of people fleeing, the corners of Bai Zi's mouth curled up, and he whispered, I said you can't go back. He spoke, Bai Zi raised his right hand and the power of thunder in his palm became stronger and stronger. In the next instant, the lightning speed of light instantly covered the area within 1,000 meters in front of him. Within 1,000 meters, every inch of space they were all filled with thunder. Ah! The shrill screams rang out one after another, forming a beautiful movement between the silent world, turning into a thunderbolt, and Bai Zi appeared several hundred meters away in an instant. Peggy Wan. Although the two of them are the big 6 sons of Kaido of the beasts, they are not enough to watch under the thunder that Zeze has developed to the extreme. Bai Zi can instantly turn into nothingness with a single strike of thunder. Zaladrek hadn't spoken yet, and the power of thunder emanating from Bai Zi's feet instantly enveloped Drake and Peggy. 1,002 people. The next moment, the strange thing of the two people's bodies is that they turned into flying ashes under the thunder. A breeze came and disappeared between heaven and earth. No one knew that the 6 sons of Linkong, who were still alive and kicking a moment ago, now have 2 who have met the King of Hell. Dodge again. Bai Zi's figure has already appeared thousands of feet away. Moving towards he walked away from the field laid out by fire calamity embers. At the same time, in the small island. Puff. A pirate stabbed the residents of the island through the body, scarlet blood splashed on the pirate's face, and the heat still remained hot from the body. The pirate's eyes were crimson red, and his spirit was full of excitement. He glanced around excitedly, looking for the next prey like a zombie. Ah! No, let me go, please let me go, I will give all my wealth. A woman could finish speaking. Another ferocious pirate on the opposite Hawkins boat was about to kill the woman. An extremely similar scene happened in every inch of the surrounding. Screaming screams, scarlet blood splattered on the ground and various buildings. Within a few minutes, the field has already turned into an Asura hell. Acting requires a full set. Since they are the bait, then act for real. Only in this way can you deceive Momoshiki. Sure enough, Momoshiki Admiral, who was originally vigilant, smelled the extreme bloody smell, and immediately stopped hesitating and accelerated. The footsteps headed towards the square on the island and took Marine to run over. A little while. Boom bang 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 bang, dozens of gunshots pierced the air, spreading to all directions. Thousands of Marines immediately took control of the entire square and surrounded everyone including Hawkins. Soon, Marine gave up a passage and stared at Hawkins who were slaughtering wildly in the arena. Hawkins, damn you. However, in the face of Momoshiki Admiral who was much stronger than a Kainu Admiral, Hawkins didn't have a trace of panic on his face, and some were full of jokes, because he knew that the fire disaster and everyone were lying in ambush not far away. Oyo. Isn't he this the famous Momoshiki Admiral? The Fishman Island battle was really a good way to give our queen boss directly to Baizi. Why do you want to kill me now? Hawkins said fearlessly, and now he has led Momoshiki and others here, and the Marines by the sea are estimated to have been destroyed by Drake and Peggy Wan. Even if Momoshiki finds something different, she can't go away. Seeing Hawkins' expression without the slightest hint of fear, Momoshiki frowned. Where did Hawkins get the confidence? She didn't think that in the presence of herself, this guy, if she can escape, she will really be sorry for her strength. It's just that, since she knows she can't escape, she is still so confident unless Momoshiki hates evil and is decisive, but it doesn't mean she is a fool. If you think about Momoshiki for a while, you are vaguely aware of Hawkins' confidence. Is this a trap? More precisely, this person has long known that he will come here, so saying, no, the people on the shore are in danger. Suddenly, Momoshiki seemed to realize something and hurriedly turned around and walked away. However, just when Momoshiki was about to make this move, a dull and somewhat familiar voice came from behind him. Haha, did you just find out now, Momoshiki Admiral? I'm afraid it's too late. A figure appeared on the scene, and when Momoshiki saw the figure, his face became solemn. Fire Calamity, it really is you. Chapter 83_Conspiracy reached. Momoshiki is going to die. Sure enough, the one who appeared on the square was none other than Kaido of the Beasts. He was powerful and one of the three disasters most trusted by Kaido of the Beasts, Jin. Not only Jin, but also beside him there are 6 volleyball sons except Drake and Peggy Wan, and there are half of Kaido of the Beasts, cadres in the field. Obviously, this is completely aimed at her. Moreover, this stance has definitely been premeditated for a long time. Except for Jin, although Momoshiki has the confidence to kill them, he is definitely not at the point of instant kill. Now that Yanjahan is present, he will definitely not let himself kill Kaido, who has become thinner. Core combat power, war of attrition. Yan Zanjing has already made up his mind. A lot of people who get in the way. Yanjia looked at Momoshiki playfully, and suddenly, a cold glow flashed across his eyes. The dark red hockey suddenly centered on Yanjia, and instantly and accurately descended on thousands of Marines. Turning over, he fell directly to the ground. Hawkins, kill them all. Cold voice came out of Yan Zanjin's mouth, and Momoshiki's mind roared for a while. You dare. Without a second word, Momoshiki's strong sword chi instantly reached its peak, and he was about to slash with a sword. Hawkins, who was on the opposite side, was locked by the sword chi, and he was almost not scared to pee. Hey, Momoshiki Admiral, don't you think I don't exist? Open black lens bracket Arlong God's Claw close black lens bracket. Fell from the voice, immediately covered with armament. Dragon claws, instantly appeared in front of Momoshiki, directly facing the slash. After one blow, both of them retreated more than 10 feet. Regardless of the fact that Fire Calamity was more than 10 feet back than Momoshiki, it was obvious that Momoshiki had the upper hand in the reckless fight. But now, Fire Calamity is not one person, but dozens of people besieging Momoshiki alone. The gap that can be ignored can't help but make up for it, and it is likely to give Momoshiki a fatal blow at a critical time. Just then, poof. Puff puff puff, thousands of voices of the death of Wangquan, one after another, swayed from all around. Momoshiki followed the sound, and his anger was mad, and the fire disaster, who noticed the flaw, immediately punched Momoshiki fiercely. His belly slammed, and his flaming fist sent Momoshiki flying thousands of meters away in an instant. Puff. A punch, Momoshiki opened his mouth, and scarlet blood gushed out, and then he vomited blood. You know. Hard to bear the blow of the fire disaster. I am afraid that even the existence of Admiral level can't maintain the peak combat power. Cough cough cough. By a mouthful of scarlet blood, Momoshiki stood up again with blood in his mouth, and the remaining 4 of the 6 volleys immediately jumped into the air and attacked Momoshiki fiercely and viciously, but they underestimated Momoshiki's strength. Person 4 just approached Dao, but was overturned by the sword intent that covered the sky, and the attack was forcibly interrupted. Flame Calamity, you are courting death. Marine Rokushiki Ultimate Profound Truth Open Black Lens Bracket 6 King's Sword Intense Spear, Close Black Lens Bracket. Such a blow is stronger than when he fought against the North Blue Giant monster Ryokugyu before. Even the Fire Calamity is dignified at this moment, but he knows that Momoshiki is not strong enough. Open Black Lens Bracket Overlord God Fist Close Black Lens Bracket. Immediately, the flames spread their wings and flew hundreds of feet in the sky, and then with a comet-like impact, a giant energy fist the size of a house that destroyed the sky appeared in the air, and slammed towards the attacking Six King's Sword Intense Spear, smashed past, blasting earth and rocks. Hundreds of pirates were blown away, and the dark red Conqueror hockey spilled out. Facing Momoshiki's blow, Yan Calamity didn't dare to hold back. Because, if he keeps his hand, it is very likely that he will be the one who will die. The 6 volleyballs and many cadres of Kaido of the Beasts are even more confused by the energy in the field, and they can't see what happened in the field at all. What? The numerous buildings and vegetation around the whirring Jinfeng Square were ravaged and devastated, as if they had been hit by a hurricane. A single blow is so terrifying. The two of them collided with one blow, and they both retreated hundreds of feet. The face of the flames turned pale, and Momoshiki on the opposite side was even more unbearable. The cost of overloading the body is obviously enormous. With flop, he knelt on one knee directly on the ground, and the blood in his mouth rushed out without money. The 6 sons of Linkong and many cadres swarmed up, like wolf rushing towards food. Although the opponent was Momoshiki Admiral, who was 1 point stronger than Akainu, but now they are already at the end of the battle. Opponent. Looking for death. Momoshiki of course knew the intentions of Linkong Luzi and many cadres, and immediately swept out with a sword, and immediately one Linkong Luzi's right arm was broken, and the other Linkong Luzi's left leg was missing. Aura of the sword energy all over his body burst out, and the aura of the top swordsman instantly sent the others flying again. Puff. Momoshiki, who forcibly used the sword intent, also affected the wound again, and a column of blood more than 1 meter sprayed out. Great opportunity. Pale face, the fiery embers regained their strength, and immediately punched Momoshiki's ribs again before he had time to guard against them, and immediately made a crisp, click, sound, and at least 5 ribs were shattered in response. And Momoshiki was smashed several dozen feet away, and finally slammed into the hard ground above the square, and a small pool of blood gathered under him. However, what is shocking is that Momoshiki stood up again. However, at this moment, the blood flowed from the corners of her mouth, her complexion was as pale as snow, but her body was still standing upright, and there were pools of blood pooling under her body. As for the samurai sword in his hand, it has disappeared. Seeing Momoshiki's miserable appearance in front of him, Yan Jajin's heart is indescribably happy. Ha ha ha. Marine Headquarters Momoshiki Admiral. Before the Fishman Island battle, you were not in high spirits and injured our queen, but you have thought about the current situation. Yan Shanjin's eyes flickered with a ferocious color. No one knew what kind of friendship he and Queen had over the years, Guoming. A few years ago, Queen risked her life more than once to save herself, and now Queen is dead. It really drove him into an unprecedented madness. Up and down. Momoshiki, the sinister Isho, but you love me, I won't let you die so easily. Did you see that there are 5 or 6,000 in the field, my brother? I will give you to them after I abandon you later. I believe that the taste of Admiral in the Marine Headquarters must be very good. Ha 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 ha. S eyes were full of madness, while Momoshiki's eyes were all replaced by despair. Is he here? But even if he loses, he won't let these Xiao succeed. Momoshiki, who is determined, has already decided to launch a sword-intense self-destruction at the cost of his life. To read the underlined version of the novel, please download the Filu novel. Chapter 84 _ Calamity Ember Dragon, Momoshiki of Demon Pact. On the square are thousands of pirates around, all of them looking at Momoshiki Admiral with fierce and arrogant eyes. The taste of Marine Admiral must be super good. If they can taste the taste of Marine Admiral this time, it will be enough for them to brag for a lifetime. Die. This is the price you pay for being an accomplice in killing Queen, he he he. But don't worry, I promise you, that Bai Zi's death will definitely be 10 times worse. No, 100 times worse. Sen Ran's voice flooded from Yan Zonjan's eyes, and immediately he no longer hesitated, and punched Momoshiki fiercely again. Such a punch would be even more powerful than the previous punch. If this punch is over, Momoshiki will absolutely lose its combat power. At that time, it will not be the fish on their chopping board, let them slaughter. It contains a blow of extreme anger, and the flames burst out, and even the air is blasted by the fist. It exploded, and Momoshiki on the opposite side was ready to explode with his sword intent. When the fire disaster came to the front, he would die with him, and even if it couldn't, he would be severely injured. Then ruthless, Momoshiki has never been afraid of anyone. The fire disaster with an angry blow, attacked the Marine Headquarters Momoshiki Admiral, who forcibly awakened Marine Rokushiki by his own ability to almost be on par with Bai Zi. The two sides attacked, and they were about to touch. The moment when the thunder is at a critical moment. A thunderbolt instantly appeared in front of Momoshiki, who was about to explode his sword intent, and a familiar voice of Momoshiki pierced through the air. Marine Rokushiki Ultimate Profound Truth Open Black Lens Bracket 6 King's Gravity Gun, Close Black Lens Bracket. Rumbling punched the place, the air vibrated, and instantly appeared on the Shonko of the Flame Calamity as if it had passed through the void, a dull sound, and the Flame Calamity, which had just been fierce and domineering, was like a one cannonball. Fly upside down for the shadow. Under the blessing of gravity, the speed is several times faster than the ordinary Six Kings Spear. This kind of power is completely different from the power of thunder. The Devil Fruit and Six Kings Spear are superimposed. The ability is sky-defying. The flaming embers that flew hundreds of feet upside down finally landed on the ground, and even wiped a few dozen feet before crashing into a huge rock on the square. On the top, it was embedded in it abruptly. The sudden change immediately shook everyone. Momoshiki, who originally wanted to explode her sword intent, stopped because she saw the most unlikely scene. Bai Zi, the person she was going to kill a few days ago, has now saved herself. It's just that the Six Kings Spear just now. It's strange, it has the ability of gravity fruit in it. Can Momoshiki be able to integrate the sword intent into the Six Kings gun? She easily thought of this layer, recalling the Thunder Six Kings Spear that Bai Zi played before. Now there is the Gravity Six Kings Spear. If he shoots the Air Shock Six Kings Spear, what exactly is this guy in that scene? How to do it? To know that she integrated sword intent into Six before. Knowing how much hardship she has endured, and it took a full year of tempering, she has the power she is today. Outsiders only see her achievements, and people see the sadness and bitterness behind her achievements. Linkong's sixth son and many cadres, one of the figures who flew out backwards, was completely stunned. How is it possible? Boss Jin. It turned out to be. Linkong Luzi and the others howled incessantly, their eyes full of incredulity, and thousands of pirates were all dumbfounded at this moment. Boss Jin. That's their undefeated. Mythical Jin boss. Now he has been kicked out. My god, how can this be done except their Captain Kaido of the Beasts? They really don't know who else has this ability. Eyes followed the path and looked directly in the direction of Momoshiki. To be precise, everyone's eyes fell on the man in front of Momoshiki. However, the moment everyone's eyes fell on that figure, Deng Shi's scalp was numb, and a cold air rushed to the sky from the soles of his feet. Hey, that's Bai Zi. He is Bai Zi, the Bai who killed the Queen's boss in the Fishman Island battle a few days ago. Zi, the captain of the Yanwang pirates, the one closest to the four emperors. It's him. How could it be him? Why is he here? It's over now. Before on Fishman Island, the four of them, Boss Jin, were no match for this guy. Now that Boss Jin is alone, the result can be imagined. For a time, thousands of pirates who survived the scene, including the 6 sons of Linkong, burst into an uproar and looked at Bai Zi in the arena, their eyes filled with fear and jealousy. Poof. Cough cough cough. On the other side, fire calamity embers, struggling from the huge rock, had both wings broken by the force behind his back. This injury was the first time in his history that he was so embarrassed. Bai Zi, it's you. Yan Zongjin saw Bai Zi, and his eyes were full of anger. This guy killed his brother before, but now he has ruined his own affairs. Unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. Hee, didn't you say that my death was 10 times more miserable than Momoshiki? No, it was 100 times worse. Bai Zi didn't pay attention to Yan Zongjin's anger at all. He didn't pay any attention to Yan Zongjin when he was on Fishman Island before, let alone at this time. Glancing at Yan Zongjin, he jokingly said, now that I'm here, you make me try 100 times more miserable. The invisible face slap is the most deadly. The endless sense of shame and anger, coupled with the anger that can't be contained in Yan Zongjin's heart, immediately lost control of Yan Zongjin and fell directly into berserk mode. Roar. A loud dragon roar pierced through the air and swirled in the air, rising continuously for a long time. Could it be that Jin is going to turn into a dragon? As soon as this speculation emerged, I saw the flame disaster in the field instantly appearing hundreds of feet in the sky, but at this moment, the flame disaster has turned into a ferocious pterosaur of more than 10 feet, and there is still a ferocious pterosaur on its head. A raging fire rises. Boy Bai Zi, go to hell. Immediately, the violent flame embers in the air, after turning into a pterosaur, instantly burst out from the mouth, and in the next instant, a giant pillar of flame the thickness of a water well spewed out of the pterosaur's mouth, pointing directly at the ground and standing on the ground. Bai Zi in front of Momoshiki. Momoshiki here, looking at Bai Zi who is standing in front of him, can't help surging. Indeed, at this moment, the corner of Bai Zi's mouth curved into an arc. Devil contract use, target Marine Headquarters Admiral Momoshiki. Immediately, a demon contract merged with Momoshiki's soul at a very fast speed, and everything was silent, because just now, a perfect plan to disintegrate the Marine Headquarters and even Tenryubido appeared in Bai Zi's mind. And now, Momoshiki behind him is the most important part of his plan. 3 things to read, collect, push. Chapter 85 _ Did you mean? Tenryubido. Open black lens bracket gravity barrier close black lens bracket. Looking at the fiery flames coming towards us, this flame is a little more powerful than the magma of a kainu. It is indeed the first confidant of Kaido of the beasts, the pterosaur fruit. It is really powerful. The earthquake-like attack instantly slammed into Bai Zi within a radius of 10 meters, and more than a dozen poor pirates were instantly burned to ashes by the aftermath of the fiery flames. Others, including Linkong Luzi, looked at the world-annihilating flames, and immediately retreated in fright, their faces turned as pale as white paper, even whiter than white paper. Took 10 seconds for the flames to dissipate. Transformed into a thunderbolt, traversing the void, and the next moment appeared in the sky above the flames of fire that transformed into a pterosaur. The corner of his mouth curved into a white Z, and the lightning flashed in Zizi's hand. The endless thunder jumped at Bai Zi's fingertips, turning into a thunder spear like a naughty elf, carrying the power of thunder, and slammed toward the head of the fire disaster that turned into a pterodactyl. Say it slowly, but then fast. When the fire disaster has reacted, the spear of the thunder has already pierced the head of the fire disaster and turned into a pterodactyl. The body is constantly flowing. With a loud bang, the corpse with huge embers appeared on the square, and instantly a hurricane-like dust splashed. Everyone present looked at Bai Zi, who was slaying the dragon. At this moment, it seemed like an invisible big hand smashed their hearts. Holding it firmly makes them feel very suffocated. Dust dissipated, finally revealing the finale of the field. Yan Calamity's huge head turned into charcoal, the flame above his head was extinguished, and there was no slight fluctuation of vitality on his body. Obviously he had died and could not die any longer. Far, Kaido of the beasts, 3 major disasters, the fire disaster, the plague queen and the drought jack have all died. These 3 are tantamount to cutting off the 3 arms of Kaido of the beasts, and for the whole of the 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts it was definitely an unprecedented blow and a nightmare for the pirates. However, this is not over. Eyes swept to the remaining 6 sons of Linkong and the many confidants of Kaido of the Beasts, and the corners of his mouth curved into an evil arc. Since your boss Jin has gone, then you should go too. With a calm and gentle remark, thousands of thunder lights from Zilla instantly covered the entire square, and the remaining 6 sons of the sky and the others were not able to escape, but the strong thunder book destroyed the brain tissue and carried them with them. With unparalleled pain, his consciousness dissipated, and he fell to the ground with a bang, turning into corpses, and the temperature on the corpses also subsided sharply. The shrill screams, piercing the air incessantly, lingered in the ears of Baizi and Momoshiki, who was covered in blood. Momoshiki here saw a scene that she could never forget in her life. That man named Baizi was also the most important person among her. When he rescued her today, he actually killed everyone including Yan Calamity, including dozens of thieves' cadres. Such a record and such combat power, he has to go to Fishman Island to slay such an existence before, which is definitely the rhythm of courting death. Congratulations to the successful binding of the host demon contract, the target marine headquarters Momoshiki Admiral. That sounded in his head was successful. The first step of the plan in Baizi's heart was a perfect success. The subordinate admiral was the subordinate, who undoubtedly planted a one super bomb in the marine headquarters. A spy that no one could have imagined. With Momoshiki this link, the plan to destroy Marine and destroy Tenryubito in the future will undoubtedly be much more convenient. It's strange, why did I suddenly have a much better impression of this Baizi? Hero. Impossible, how could this guy, why would he think like this? This Baizi can save himself, it seems that he is not what he thinks. This Momoshiki Admiral's mind was filled with various thoughts and speculations, and it was obvious that the Devil's contract had a very prominent contribution. It is estimated that it will not be long before Momoshiki Admiral will naturally become Baizi's most loyal subordinate. When he flips his right hand, a bottle of potion appears in front of Momoshiki under the effect of gravity fruit. The first step of the plan is a perfect success. Baizi began to implement the second plan to build momentum for Momoshiki and expand its influence in Marine. And the destruction of Yanjia and others is undoubtedly the best reason to build momentum. Drink it down and restore your current injury. Stared at Momoshiki with deep meaning, and Momoshiki's heart was shocked when she saw it. She felt like Baizi saw through herself. As for the choice, Baizi doesn't do it alone. After all, the devil contract is not. Talk about it. Looking at the potion in front of her, Momoshiki pondered for a moment. She put out her slender hand and raised her head to take the potion. Although she didn't know why Baizi saved her, if this guy killed her at this time, she would definitely resist. No chance. However, Momoshiki's surprise appeared soon, because the various injuries she had been seriously injured by Yan Legion and others began to recover at a magical speed, even the dark diseases left by the various hardships she had suffered before. It also faded away. The more important point is that his state is now much better than when he was at his peak. This medicine. Thinking back on the medicine she just took, Momoshiki's eyes kept beating. This guy actually gave him such a precious thing. The effect of that medicine has exceeded her expectations. Give me such a precious medicine, what do you want to do? Momoshiki Admiral's eyes at Baizi have completely changed at this moment. Although he is still vigilant, his previous hostility is gone, and his beautiful eyes are full of confusion. If this person wants to get herself, it is absolutely easy now, but he is not like Yan Lycan, and this makes her even more confused. It's very simple, the enemy of the enemy is the friend. Momoshiki Admiral, who was gradually enslaved by the demon contract, Baizi said with a smile. Enemy. The enemy you are talking about is Kaido of the Beasts, Charlotte Linlin or Whitebeard with red hair or Shichibukai under the king. Momoshiki immediately said all the enemies he could think of, but the guy in front of these enemies didn't seem to be afraid. After all, this guy killed 3 disasters, and even Charlotte Linlin killed 2 people. Such an existence, to be honest, Momoshiki really can't think of anything he can help him, and let him give you such a good medicine. No, the enemy I'm talking about is not them, but. Between the words, Baizi raised a finger, pointed to the sky and curved it, heaven. Day. Momoshiki froze when he heard Baizi's words. How could his enemy be the sky, and it's so illusory and wrong, etc. At that moment, Momoshiki seemed to have thought of something, and a pair of eyes stared at Baizi in disbelief, and made a surprised voice, "You mean Dragon Man?" Chapter 86 _ Create the Marine Hero Project. Tenryubito. The three words, like a thunderbolt in the clear sky, suddenly exploded in Momoshiki's mind, making her mind go blank immediately. Among this guy's enemies, there is actually Tenryubito. That's why. Just because he killed Tenryubito in the Isle of Man before, can I ask why? Momoshiki couldn't understand the person in front of him completely. Tenryubito, the entire world, probably thought the same way as the Revolutionary Army. Could this person be the Revolutionary Army? It's just, that's not right. If there is such a presence in the Revolutionary Army, the battle with the world government will not be the current stalemate at all. Hee, you don't have to think too much. I don't belong to any faction, except of course, I was the 14th cadre of the red-haired Shanks. As for why, it's very simple. Those Tenryubito who think they're superior, I am very upset. You're like that too, aren't you? Baizi looked at Momoshiki meaningfully, as if his eyes had seen through her for a long time. What do you want me to do? Momoshiki's expression changed. Baizi's words completely broke her cognition of this guy, because what Baizi wanted to do at the moment was what she always wanted to do, but she was incapable of doing it. All you have to do is get full power in Marine, supreme power, even more than the legendary hero Garp who captured Roger before. At that time, you will have the ability and qualification to cooperate with me to eradicate and completely overthrow Tenryubito. That Momoshiki concealed on the other side, Baizi continued, and now you are too weak, no matter your strength or your prestige in the army. If this sentence is heard by outsiders, it will definitely be shocked. The weak and newly promoted Momoshiki Admiral, who is even stronger than a Kainu, was actually said by Baizi to be too weak. Grandma, obviously strong. Know why I killed Yanjajin and all of them, man? That's because I want to build momentum for you, and this is the first step for you to gain prestige quickly in the army. Baizi said in a succinct manner, thinking of a plan that looked like a lunatic to others. Great plan to create the legend of marine heroes by hand, and all this is a necessary part of changing the world in the future. Don't you think? Momoshiki is not a fool. At this time she knew why this guy killed everyone on this island. Of course, the residents on the main island and all the marines died. Baizi and Momoshiki were the only ones who knew that everyone was killed in the fire disaster. As for the aftermath, Baizi believed that Momoshiki would do a good job. Remember, I've never been here, and all these people were killed by your marine's newly promoted Momoshiki Admiral. Hearing Baizi's words, Momoshiki's eyes flickered. To be honest, she really didn't have the power to destroy everyone including Yan Zhaojin, or those marines would not be able to. As for your strength, I will give you special training these days. Here is a devil fruit that is very suitable for you. As for the level that can be developed, it depends on your own efforts in the future. Baizi threw a one devil fruit like a one insignificant object, which was also the fruit that Baizi burst out after the Fish-Man Island War. Devil fruit. Momoshiki knew about this fruit, but as for why he didn't take it. That's because she didn't want it at all, or didn't come across the devil fruit that made her tempted, but today Baizi actually gave him a devil fruit. It seems that this guy has not been paying attention to him for a day or two. Swallowed the devil fruit and felt the changes in her body. However, her beautiful eyes soon filled with incredible color. This is a multiplication fruit, a devil fruit that can empower combat power. Feeling the soaring 50% combat power in his body, Momoshiki couldn't believe that there was such a devil fruit in this world, and the root, the memory devil fruit obtained, was not afraid of sea water and sea stone. There are such amazing and powerful fruits in this world. To say that Momoshiki was shocked at the moment, if this fruit were known to the outside world, the four emperors would be crazy. Moreover, the most important point, she just took the multiplication fruit to make his combat power soar by 50%. If this is deeply developed, then the blessing of combat power will definitely destroy the world in the future. Things that increase strength rapidly now she had it, and the corpses of Yan Zonjin and others in the rallying square were all in sight. Momoshiki clenched her hands tightly and nodded solemnly, okay. Since Captain Baizi is so arrogant, then I am not a woman. In the future, whenever I oppose Tenryubito and use it in my Momoshiki's place, I will definitely support it. Momoshiki took a deep breath, and she also had the multiplier fruit she just got, which made her more confident to fight with Tenryubito. Admiral joins Marine's original intention. This is just the first step of the plan. After you finish dealing with the matter here, go to the Amazon Lily Kingdom, which is the kingdom of Boa Hancock, the captain of the first team of my Yanwang pirates. I got the news that Charlotte Linlin's men are the only fruit left. Dessert 3. Shogun Katakuri is going to attack the 9 snakes. And there, it's my second plan to pave the way for you, and there will be help for you when you get there. After Baizi finished speaking, he glanced at Momoshiki Admiral, who was part of his plan. Okay, I'll leave the rest to you, I'll go first. Remember, I've never been here. Baizi's body turned into a thunderbolt, and in the next instant, he appeared more than 100 meters away, and then disappeared on the square, heading into the distance. Above the square, between heaven and earth. It fell into silence. There was no sound at all. Momoshiki stared blankly at Yan Zonjin's corpse. Every word and sentence that Baizi said to her just now appeared in his mind. 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds 1. It lasted for more than a minute. Momoshiki, who felt the power of Pengbai in his body, came with a gust of cold wind, and this was the only time he lost his mind just now. Come back to God. Looking at Yan Shanjin's corpse again, his eyes were full of certainty, and he looked across the sea to the holy place Mariajoy in the distance, and muttered to himself, one day, I will give the world no Tenryubito. A title. Yanwang Pirates, Baizi. If this person and I can really destroy Tenryubito in the future, it's okay to cooperate privately. After a while, Momoshiki withdrew his gaze and finally landed on the corpses of Yan Yanjin and others, took out the phone bug, and reported the matter here to Marine Fleet Admiral Sengoku the Buddha. Chapter 87_Prestige soars. Marine Headquarters, Sengoku the Buddha Office. The voice of a phone bug came from the side of Billy, and Sengoku, who was working at his desk and dealing with many affairs of the Marine Headquarters, picked up the phone and listened. Hello. Momoshiki Admiral what? Fire calamity and many cadres under Kaido of the Beasts, all of the 6 sons of Linkong were killed by you. Okay, you give me the location, and I'll send someone there right away. Hanging up the phone, Sengoku didn't hesitate, even when someone called Kuzan Kizaru and Suru Vice Admiral and other leaders. After a while, Sengoku's office was crowded with more than a dozen marine executives, each with top-notch strength. Sengoku, what's so aggressive about it? Suru Vice Admiral came to Sengoku's office and said with a gloomy expression, at the same time summoning all the top Marine's top fighting forces, except for the top battle. The battle on Fishman Island had never been like this before. Looking at the office filled with more than a dozen top elites from the Marine Headquarters, the Chaton Tokikake Vice Admiral, whose arm was cut off by Baizi before, was also among them. Although the guy was in a semi-crippled state, he was completely not an ordinary Vice Admiral can compare. There is news from Momoshiki Admiral that Yanbane and the 6 sons of the sky have been killed by her on this island. While speaking, Sengoku pointed his finger at the island where Momoshiki is now. What? Fire calamity and 6th volley were killed by Momoshiki Admiral, how could it be possible? Everyone in the office looked at Sengoku, their eyes filled with disbelief, and even Suru Vice Admiral, who knew Momoshiki very well, flashed deep surprise in his eyes. Although she knew that Momoshiki's strength was very strong, even a little stronger than Kuzan Kizaru, but it was not at the level of killing the flames, and even the 6 sons of the volley were killed by Momoshiki. Accident. Sengoku, face flushed with excitement. Their marine has been negative news for a while, and now Momosegi's move is undoubtedly an excellent event to boost morale. They must report to the whole army, no, the world. I was also very surprised when I heard the news, but I have good news for you. The reason why Momosegi Admiral was able to kill the strength of Yan Bingjin and others is because she got a devil fruit that is very suitable for her. It is not clear what exactly, but at this time Momosegi Admiral's strength has increased by at least 50%. Sengoku explained the information from Momosegi in an eloquent manner, but when he heard Suru Vice Admiral and many high-level Marine headquarters ears, it was like thunder rolling in, his mind roared and blank. 50% of what they heard. That's 50% of Momosegi Admiral. Previously, it was comparable to Ryokugyu, but now it has increased by 50%, and its strength may have exceeded the Admiral level. And this is also their excitement and surprise beyond the Admiral level of combat power, and they have an incredible monster in Marine. So, now I order this Kuzan Kizaru to immediately take everyone to the island where Momosegi is located, and the news that Momosegi killed Yanzan and the 6 Sons of the Sky. This kind of victory is too important for us Marine. But what if Kaido of the Beasts goes crazy and asks for guilt? A core member of the office, Vice Admiral, frowned and asked worriedly. Kaido of the Beasts. Now that there are no 3 disasters and 6 suns in the sky, just relying on his cadres, he can't make any waves. If Kaido of the Beasts really dares to appear, I don't mind pouring out all the fighting power of the Marine headquarters, and it will be wiped out. Now good news from Momosegi Admiral, Sengoku is bound to get it, even Kaido of the Beasts can't stop it. An hour later. The island where Momosegi is located is now surrounded by dozens of marine warships, and the entire island is surrounded by water. At this moment, most of their marine headquarters' top combat power is on this island. Kuzan and Kizaru also came to the scene. At this moment, more than a dozen top fighting forces stared at the corpse of Yan Lichen on the square in the middle of the field, as well as the 6 volleyballs and many cadres under Kaido of the Beasts. There are hundreds of millions of people with the least bounty, and the amount of bounty in the field adds up. I don't know how high it will be. Flame Calamity, it's really him. I didn't expect Momosegi Admiral's strength to increase so much. Yeah, it's unbelievable, it's incredible. Fire Beast, Kaido of the Beasts, the strongest fighting force, was killed by Momosegi Admiral just like that. I heard Momosegi Admiral say that the fire disaster originally set up an ambush for her again, but I never thought that her strength was already incomparable, and that's what happened now. You said, who would win if Momosegi Admiral and Kaido of the Beasts fought? This, I'm afraid no one knows, only they know it after playing. Marine elites who came around, all of them looked at Momosegi with adoration, fiery and excitement. Momosegi Admiral. This is their current marine god of war, Momosegi Admiral. The goddess of war. It's so powerful, killing the first of the 3 major disasters of Kaido of the Beasts, Yan Kane. This operation alone will definitely make all pirates to their marine impressed. God of War. God of War. God of War. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a voice rang out from tens of thousands of Marines, and then spread to the air that pierced the entire square, causing tens of thousands of Marines to shout in unison. Momosegi's prestige was soaring like a pillar to the sky for a while, and when Kuzan Kizaru looked at each other, it was all bitter. They never imagined that Momosegi, who had been admiral for so long than the 2 of them, had indeed left them behind in strength now. Although the 3 of them are all admiral, but relying on Momosegi to kill the fire disaster, it can be said that Momosegi's combat power level is definitely a higher level than them. In prestige made Momosegi's face turn. A flash, she was able to deceive everyone present, even Sengoku and Suru Vice Admiral were deceived, but she couldn't deceive herself. What did she kill? Although her strength has skyrocketed by 50% now, Yan Legion's reputation is not a vegetarian, even if she is now, under the kind of situation at that time. Can he kill Yan Legion? It is unknown, not to mention that there is not only Yan Jajin here, all the pirates have died, and there is no one alive. This is completely different from Momoshiki Admiral's style. It's strange, when did their Momoshiki Admiral become so cruel, but how could they know that such a drama of Li Dai Daozang was all from Bai Zi's hands? Chapter 88_1 Category only. On an unknown island. Marine elites in the entire square fell into a dead silence. Not a single sound was heard. Shocked. Yes, they were too shocked. Originally, they thought they came here with many core executives of the Marine headquarters to fight, but who would have thought that they did not see an enemy, but instead saw the scene in the field. They were really shocked, and in addition to the shock, they were most excited and proud. That's right. So excited. Blazing cinders, that is, they were killed by their newly promoted Momoshiki Admiral. The morale is at an unprecedented high at this time. The name of the god of war is absolutely deserving of its name. The hero Garp, and now they have a new generation of Marine Guardian heroes born. It's too insignificant. Immediately, Kuzan Kizaru ordered the corpses, including the blazing embers and the 6 sons of the sky, to be transported back to the Marine headquarters, so as to create the highest morale momentum. Kidding, this is what their Marine Fleet Admiral has repeatedly instructed and emphasized before coming here, and this time, the prestige that they lost before Marine will be regained, and even surpassed in the past. Big fanfare. This time they will definitely make a big fanfare to let the whole new world, all the pirates, bounty hunters, Shichibukai, the Revolutionary Army, all parties, etc. know about it. They want everyone to know that Marine is not without superpowers. Half an hour later. Island, many Marines transported the dead Marine elite back to their headquarters and added the title of Martyr. As for the people on the island, under the order of Momoshiki, all the bodies were buried on the island. Take care of everything. Momoshiki withdrew his gaze and looked at Kuzan and Kizaru. In this trip, you bring the corpses of the fire calamity back to the headquarters first, and I will go to the Amazon Lily Kingdom. The Amazon Lily Kingdom, the first team leader of the Yanwang Pirates, Boa Hancock's ground contact, do you want it? Kuzan Kizaru thought of something subconsciously, his face, and his heart couldn't help but tremble. Before Fishman Island Bai Zi's monstrous combat power, they still think about it so far. This guy has skyrocketed in strength and wants to follow. Let's find Bai Zi's fault. It seems that he could see the expressions of Kuzan and Kizaru, and the corner of Momoshiki's mouth flashed an imperceptible arc. It seems that the incident on Fishman Island last time had a great impact on the two of them, otherwise they would not have heard him mention Boa Hancock. Kingdom of, this expression will appear. Don't worry, at this time, I won't provoke Liangzi from Bai Zi's Yanwang Pirates. The deepest part of Momoshiki's heart was a touch of happiness. Of course, even Momoshiki herself didn't know it at this time. Then you go. Kuzan asked the question smoothly. Now that Fire Beasts has just been killed by Momoshiki, the safest thing to do at this time is to return to Marine headquarters, because the next Kaido of the Beasts' anger will definitely set the world on fire. I got information that the 3-star category of the 4 Emperor Charlotte Linlin's desserts and many cadres gathered together, and now they are killing the Amazon Lily Kingdom of Boa Hancock. If you want to re-establish Marine's prestige, this is a rare opportunity. What, category and numerous cadres go? The Amazon Lily Kingdom. It's true, if it's true, it's a great opportunity. Why don't the 3 of us go on a trip at the same time? I don't think Sengoku Fleet Admiral will have an opinion. Kizaru nodded thoughtfully, pondering the pros and cons, and said aloud, but as soon as Kizaru said these words, it was directly rejected by Momoshiki on the side. No. It's just one category. If I wait for 3 people to go, wouldn't it be equivalent to lowering the standard of my marine? This time I'm enough. Momoshiki's words made many vice admirals around, especially the one. Chaton Tokikake's eyelids twitched and the corners of his mouth twitched. One person, so unscrupulously hunted down Charlotte Linlin's highest combat power, the dessert 3-star category, mother, they didn't even think about it. Category, that is the existence of the top of the 3 dessert generals, and the external bounty is higher than that of the Plague Queen. Its strength is even more unfathomable, and it is definitely a level of existence of the fire disaster. Ah. That's all right. Kuzan and Kizaru looked at each other and nodded and agreed. If it was Momoshiki before, they would never put her in danger. After all, it's not easy for them to have an admiral in Marine now, but it's different now. Momoshiki's strength has skyrocketed by 50%. If you wait for an opportunity in the dark, killing Katakuri is definitely a very easy thing to do, but approaching Katakuri is not. For Emperor Charlotte Linlin. If you go alone, be careful. If something happened to you, Kizaru and I were scolded by Sengoku as small, and it would be a big sin to be Marine's sinners. Kuzan nodded and said, and Momoshiki called a marine battleship, and slaughtered it in the direction of the Amazon Lily Kingdom of the Empress Boa Hancock. Momoshiki standing on the deck of the marine battleship, the corner of his mouth curved into a successful arc. Of course, she won't bring Kuzan and Kizaru there, to know that this is Baizi's second campaign plan for her, but I don't know that. Who is the so-called helper? Is it a captain of the Yanwang pirates, or it was the squad leader? Immediately, Fujitora, Isho, Ryokugyu, Boa Hancock, Ace, and Jinbei came to Momoshiki's mind. It can be said that each of them is possible. Although she didn't know who sent this time, one thing she was sure about was that the 3-star Katakuri of the 4 Emperors Charlotte Linlin's dessert was definitely dead. Unless Charlotte Linlin showed up in person, otherwise Katakuri would have nothing but death. Other ending. Who will it be? If that, the previous opponent of Fishman Island, Ryokugyu, the deputy captain of the Yanwang pirates, I don't know if she can defeat that guy at this time. I really didn't expect that. Ryokugyu's guy, who took the poisonous fruit of the impelled-down Warden Magellan, became so terrifying. You must know that before the war, it was this Ron who killed him. Momoshiki murmured to herself, and suddenly she was full of curiosity about the upcoming helper, and being able to be sent by Baizi to help her deal with Charlotte Linlin's confidant Katakuri, one of the 4 emperors, is enough to show the importance of this person. Momoshiki, who was standing on the deck, clenched her pink fist and felt Peng Bai's power. She was filled with emotion. The image of Baizi showing off her power on the square appeared in her mind before, and she couldn't help but twitch her lips without realizing it. Sweet Arc. Chapter 89_Lily Kingdom Crisis. Marine Headquarters, Office of Marshal Sengoku. Cough cough cough. What? What are you talking about? Momoshiki drove a battleship to the Amazon Lily Kingdom alone, to kill Katakuri, the desert 3 generals of the 4 emperors Charlotte Linlin. After listening to Kizaru's report, Sengoku the Buddha was in a good mood while sipping a cup of tea. Immediately, he jumped 3 feet high and almost choked to death with a sip of tea. Tsuru Vice Admiral on the side heard it, and his eyes narrowed. Various possible scenarios flashed in his mind, and at the same time, he thought of the changes in Momoshiki. Cough cough cough. Crane, what do you think? A slight sigh of relief to calm down his shock, Sengoku turned his attention to the think tank and military advisor of the Marine headquarters, undecided to seek the best decision. Kizaru didn't hang up the phone, and he didn't make a sound to wait for Sengoku's instructions. He also knew very well that Sengoku at this time was probably discussing with the Counselor Tsuru Vice Admiral. 1 second, 10 seconds and 1 minute. The atmosphere of silence lasted for more than a minute. Crane's voice resounded in Sengoku's office, as well as in the ears of Kizaru Kuzan and many high-ranking Marines. I understand Momoshiki Admiral's temperament. Although she is impulsive, she is not a reckless person. Since she is sure, she will let it go. If something happens, Marine will bear it. Crane's voice resounded in Sengoku's office, and it also reached the ears of Kizaru and others. Even some Marine elites nearby had their scalps burst, what they heard. Agreed, and all the strategists in their Marine headquarters agreed. However, just in case. Kuzan Kizaru, the 2 of you are secretly protecting Momoshiki, and you have to do it as a last resort. If Momoshiki can really kill Katakuri, it will definitely be an unprecedented publicity for my Marine, and even Momoshiki will reach Garp's fame in the future. Tsuruchi treats Momoshiki as his own sister, and he is also very fancy and proud of this sister. Of course, Momoshiki also respects her very much. If Momoshiki becomes a marine legend in the future, it will be a blessing for her. More importantly, by then, she will be able to rectify Marine in a fair and open manner, and now Marine can be said to have been corrupted to the core. To achieve a complete cure, she must have someone who strongly supports her to stand up, so that she can give it a go. All this was originally just her dream when she was young, and she had no illusions about realizing it. It was just a dream when she was young as Momoshiki herself. Treats Admiral like her own sister. With the rise of battle power and fame, she has to replan her future mission. After listening to Crane's suggestion, Sengoku nodded. Crane said, well, then do as she says. Kuzan Kazaru, you two immediately. Protect Momoshiki secretly, make sure Momoshiki Admiral's life is safe, and even if the worst plan is that the four emperors Charlotte Linlin will come in person, you must protect Marine's hope. Understood. Received. 2 days later, the Amazon Lily Kingdom Sea. The sign of the Charlotte Linlin pirate flag, fluttering in the wind, saw dozens of pirate ships approaching the coastline quickly from far away. In charge of the lookout saw dozens of huge warships lined up, rushing towards their kingdom. That's the pirate ship of the four emperors Charlotte Linlin, is broken. Go and inform the two highnesses of what happened here. As soon as the soldier said this, the many generals and soldiers guarding the coastline were all in chaos, and there was an uproar. Charlotte Linlin's ships, there are still more than a dozen. Hey, Mud, what about Charlotte Linlin's boat? What's going to happen here? Bastard, this is troublesome. If you guess correctly, this time I'm afraid it will be the revenge of the four emperors Charlotte Linlin. In revenge, did the Yanwang pirates where Her Majesty the Empress belonged to kill Charlotte Linlin's dwarf cracker again, making Charlotte Linlin angry? I am afraid it's true. Just why us? Everyone looked at the pirate ships lined up, and their hearts were filled with despair. Don't blame them for this. You must know that they are a small Amazon Lily kingdom, facing a behemoth like the four emperors. It can be said that they can't be on the table at all. Even if their Empress, Her Majesty, is here, Charlotte Linlin said that if she wants to destroy it, it will never take a day. Asshole. It's really hard to be bullied by my Lily Kingdom. The eyes of the women on the defensive offensive were full of anger. Among them, the general of the Lily Kingdom asked the messenger to shout, tell them, if you are moving forward, you are welcome. Immediately, a sound came from the direction of Lily Kingdom, piercing the air and spreading over this sea area. Listen to Charlotte Linlin's ship on the opposite side. If it goes a mile further, we will organize a counterattack. The loud voice resounded above the sea, although the opponent was the four emperors Charlotte Linlin, but as soldiers of the Lily Kingdom, they had to defend this land, because behind them was their most beloved homeland. But now, someone wants to destroy their homes, which they absolutely do not allow. 1 jong, 5 jong, 10 jong. Not good, General. Charlotte Linlin's ship went more than 10 feet across. Listening to the report of his subordinates, the general frowned, and immediately burst into a ruthless light, and a coquettish voice came out, since the warning is useless, then fire the gun. Yes, General. A little while. Hundreds of shells flew from the coastline towards the sea. However, just as the hundreds of cannonballs were about to fall towards the pirate ship, suddenly, hundreds of glutinous rice-shaped objects collided with the cannonballs, making a loud noise, and the sea between the two sides splashed up. 100 feet of waves. Asshole. Damn it, it turned out to be Katakuri, the third dessert general of the four emperors Charlotte Linlin, and this time he personally led the team. It's over now. That Katakuri is something that Her Majesty the Empress is very afraid of. Knowing that Charlotte Linlin's desert three generals, the Lily Kingdom defender who originally had a bit of luck, suddenly became desperate. Katakuri, that's an existence whose bounty is higher than the Queen of the Plague, and now it's even more crazy after the loss of two disasters. No one hates this damned Lily Kingdom more than Katakuri, because the king of this kingdom in front of me, is the one. The captain of the first team of the Yanwang pirates who killed his brother's Queen of Plague and Jack of Drought. Die. This time is just the beginning of his Katakuri revenge. Next, he will carry out Ma Ma's revenge plan in a very real way, and the Amazon Lily Kingdom is just a small one. It can't be a small start, it's an interest charge. As for these so-called shells, there is absolutely no threat to him. All ships, charge me. Going as fast as possible, after an hour, I don't want to see anyone alive in the Amazon Kingdom. A cold snort, Katakuri waved his hand, and the tens of thousands of pirates that gathered immediately rushed towards the shoreline. Chapter 90 by Z's back. Amazon, Lily Kingdom coastline. A crushing battle is about to start. On the other side of the Lily Kingdom Palace, Sonia and Groud, the two sisters of the Empress Boa Hancock, were panicked on the spot when they heard the news that Katakuri was coming to attack. Katakuri, that guy actually came to attack our Lily Kingdom, this. Sonia's pretty face is full of panic. What kind of existence is Katakuri, one of Charlotte Linlin's 3 desert generals, and the strongest among them? To mention that their older sister, Empress Boa Hancock, is no longer in the kingdom. Even if she is in the kingdom, she is definitely not his opponent. Sonia, call your sister immediately, although it is a little late, but this must be known to my sister. Groud took a deep breath and tried his best to calm his mind. Is this a revenge for his sister and the others who killed their desert 3 generals, Cracker, in the Fishman Island battle? Being so powerful to the elder sister, Captain Bai Z, there must be a way. Sonia woke up from the panic, picked up the phone and called the bug as soon as possible. On the other side, Fishman Island Yanwang Pirates headquarters. Outside the headquarters, when many people on Fishman Island looked at the Yanwang Pirates, their eyes were filled with intense worship and respect. Because, here is the Fishman Island that saved them not long ago, and now their Fishman Island will no longer be oppressed from all sides, and everyone who lives here is the benefactor of their Fishman Island. And here is the most sacred place in the whole Fishman Island, and it is also the place where they will never allow others to blaspheme. At this moment, inside the Yanwang Pirates headquarters, the voice of the Bilibili phone worm rang from the headquarters, and among the people who were talking, Princess Shirahoshi came to the phone worm and answered the call. Hello. Shirahoshi's pleasant voice resonated in the headquarters, and a panicked voice that went straight to the topic came from the opposite side. Excuse me, is Sister Hancock here? I'm her sister Sonia. Something happened to the Lily Kingdom. What? Something happened to Sister Hancock's Lily Kingdom. Shirahoshi, with his beautiful eyes wide open, had a look of horror on his small face, and everyone who was talking to him heard that, and all fell silent. Then, there was a dead silence. Pat. The sound of the wine glass falling from his hand pierced the air and came over. Boa Hancock, who was teleporting, came to Shirahoshi's side in the next instant, took the phone bug, and said in a solemn and cold voice, "What's going on?" She knew her 2 younger sisters too well. If it wasn't for something they couldn't solve, she would definitely not contact her, which meant that something really happened in the Lily Kingdom now. 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes and 10 minutes later. Hancock knew about the Lily Kingdom. His eyelids twitched wildly, a heart directly raised to his throat, and a horrified voice came out. What did you say? For Emperor Charlotte Linlin's desert 3 General Star Katakuri went to the Lily Kingdom, bastard. Okay, I know, you must defend before I go back. Hanging up the phone, Boa Hancock's beautiful eyes turned red. The Lily Kingdom is her lifeblood, and it is also the most important reason for her to join the Yanwang Pirates. Now that the Lily Kingdom is facing an unprecedented enemy, how can she remain unmoved? Empress Hancock, who took a deep breath, reappeared in her eyes full of determination. Fujitora, Ryokugyu. Deputy Captain, I have to go back to this matter. The captain will tell me after he comes back. Thank him for his great kindness. Hancock can't repay him in this life, and he will repay his great kindness when he is a cow and a horse in the next life. When Fujitora heard this, He frowned and looked at the Empress Hancock solemnly. The Lily Kingdom is not too close to Fishman Island. Even if you go back, it may be too late. If the captain comes back and finds out about this, he will definitely go to war with Charlotte Linlin. Yeah, Sister Hancock, let's contact Lord Byzee now. He must have a solution. Seeing that Hancock was determined to die, Shirahoshi quickly consoled him. No, I have to go to the Lily Kingdom immediately for this matter. Hancock didn't want to wait for a moment, because at this time, the Kingdom of Lily could be broken by Katakuri at any time. To know the strength of that guy, she was not an opponent even in her heyday, including her who has greatly increased in strength now. Everyone couldn't stop her, and just as Boa Hancock was about to leave, a familiar voice came in from outside, and the next moment a flash of thunder, Byzee's figure appeared in the hall. The Lily Kingdom is no need to go. The dull voice pierced the air and rang out in the hall, and everyone's brows were filled with joy, because they knew from this voice that their captain was here. Even the Empress Boa Hancock, who was about to leave, stopped abruptly, clenching her teeth. Captain, you. When Jinbei heard Byzee's words, she thought that Hancock had made great contributions to Fishman Island. If something happened to the Lily Kingdom, she would never forgive herself in her life. Oh, it's all right. Hancock, you go back first, and I promise you nothing will happen to your Lily Kingdom. Gently patted Hancock's shoulder to calm her down, and there was no trace of worry on her face because Charlotte Linlin's 3 desert generals, Katakuri, shot her. Captain, do you already have a backer? Seeing Bai Zechungju's expression in Hungary, Ace couldn't help but ask a question in doubt. Back. As soon as Ace said these words, everyone in the hall immediately froze, and their gazes all focused on Byzee, even the Empress Hancock. If this is the case, then her Lily Kingdom may still be saved. The backhand, is it? Assistant outside the Lily Kingdom for Momoshiki, Byzee said with a laugh, all we have to do now is to wait and watch the play. I bet that Katakuri is dead this time. Captain, this is true. Soon as Byzee's voice fell, Empress Hancock's eyes flashed, and she said incomparably decisively, if the captain can save the Lily Kingdom this time, the concubine is willing to do anything for the captain. Oh yes, Then are you leaving? Byzee's eyes fell on Hancock as he spoke like a spring breeze. If I don't go, my concubine trusts the captain more than I trust myself. Speaking, Boa Hancock called back directly, asked the 2 sisters to wait patiently, and told them what Byzee was going to do next, so that they could appease the emotions of the domestic people. And just as the Empress Hancock explained to Sonia, the border of the Lily Kingdom was less than 500 meters away, and Katakuri's ship came quickly, but at a moment when many border guard generals and soldiers were frightened, an incomparably huge tentacle came out of the sea. It broke through the water and came out, straight into the sky, and instantly soared to a height of 1,000 feet. Chapter 91 The North Blue Monster Reappears. Amazon, Kingdom of Lily. Not far from the coastline. Crash. The towering waves rise from the sea, and the waves at the highest point are thousands of feet. And between the waves and the waves, a tentacle with the thickness of a house appeared in everyone's field of vision without warning. Of the Lily Kingdom along the coastline, who had been panicked by the invasion of Katakuri and his party, stared at the towering tentacles dozens of meters away with wide-eyed eyes, all dumbfounded. A single tentacle is so big, how huge the whole body must be. The towering tentacles that suddenly appeared, also caused the dozen or so ships of Katakuri and his party, who were attacking rapidly, to be erratic as if they had encountered a hurricane at sea. Tens of thousands of pirates on the ship exploded in an instant. What is that, so big? A tentacle is thousands of feet long, what kind of monster? Is it the protector of the Kingdom of Lily Kingdom? But it can't. I have never heard of such a monster in Lily Kingdom. It doesn't appear sooner or later, and it only appears when we are about to attack the coastline of the Lily Kingdom. This monster is definitely related to the Lily Kingdom, or the Empress Boa Hancock. Ah no, look, that tentacle is coming towards us. that were hotly discussing, there was a screaming exclamation from nowhere. As soon as the sound passed, everyone's eyes immediately focused on the towering tentacles with the thickness of the house more than 100 meters away, including the same goes for Katakuri and many of Charlotte Linlin's cadres. And when Katakuri and the others' eyes fell on the towering tentacles that fell like lightning, they all felt their scalps go numb. Damn, how dare you, beast! Seeing the towering tentacles slashing down towards the numerous ships of his side, Katakuri was immediately furious, and his eyes were full of killing intent. Open black lens bracket glutinous rice barrier close black lens bracket. As soon as Katakuri said this, his figure disappeared instantly, and the next moment he came to the bottom of the towering tentacles. Abruptly evolved into black. Just as Katakuri activated the glutinous rice barrier, the towering tentacles attacked suddenly. A deafening dull sound, Katakuri, who had not yet raised his defense to the top, was instantly hit by a stern blow, and instantly flew away, more than 100 meters away. Then, the tentacles the size of the lightning house were about to destroy thousands of pirates on a ship and died on the coastline of the Lily Kingdom. A single blow is so terrifying. Thousands of pirates on the whole ship didn't even have a chance to scream, so they all reported to Hades. On the other dozen ships were all frightened by this devastating blow. Yes. All of them are stupid. What did they see? Their god of war, Captain Charlotte Linlin's favorite son, Katakuri, one of the 3 desert generals, was knocked out by a single object. The original disdain, seeing this scene all shattered to the ground, filled my heart with a deep and extreme fear. Just kidding, just by smashing the aftermath of their Katakuri-sama's blow, a ship was smashed into pieces, and the thousands of pirates on the whole ship were all turned into minced meat, which became a delicious meal in the mouth of the Sea Kings. However, this is only the beginning of the shocked expressions of many guard generals and tens of thousands of pirates in the Lily Kingdom. Crash. Instant, the sound of waves, which was even louder than before, sang from the screen, and there was no longer 1, but 8. No more, no less, just 8. 8 tentacles with the thickness of the house instantly rose to the top. Thousands of feet high in the sky, in the next instant, it slapped down suddenly, without the slightest hesitation. The speed was like lightning, as fast as thunder, carrying the sound of woo-woo, that ripped through the air, and slammed on the 8 pirate ships brought by Katakuri with a bang. Crack. Clap 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 clap. The sound of slamming the water surface one after another, piercing the air incessantly, lingering in this battlefield with monstrous waves, impacting everyone's mind and soul. Gouda 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 Lily Kingdom's many coastline guards, 1 counts as 1 and 2 count as a pair, all of them are shocked by the scene in front of them and doubt their life. Riding a horse. What kind of combat power is this? A total of 8 Charlotte Linlin's ships were destroyed. 8 ships, that's right, tens of thousands of pirates were lost, and among them, there were many sons and daughters of Charlotte Linlin, as well as Katakuri's younger brothers and sisters. Equally shocked, there was a marine battleship that had just galloped, but it was stopped thousands of meters away. Looking at the very familiar scene, Momoshiki, who was standing on the deck, suddenly stopped and couldn't believe it. He stared at the fierce North Blue giant monster. That's right, the monster that caused their marine to suffer before the final battle of the Fishman Island War was also one of the few beings who injured her. It's just that she thought that the previous sword killed this monster, but the monster in front of her is exactly the same as the previous monster. The same breath, the same look, it can be said that they are exactly the same, and they are also related to Baizi. It's just that Momoshiki couldn't understand why the monster he killed before appeared in the wrong place. Looking at the fierce North Blue giant monster, Momoshiki suddenly thought that on an unknown island, Baizi gave himself to him. From that moment, she realized that her self-healing ability was many times better than before. Could it be that Momoshiki thought of a certain possibility, and the idea of Fishman Island fighting this monster before came to her mind? The more I think about it, the more likely it is. I am afraid that at that time, this monster was already taken by Baizi with such a potion, otherwise, how could the monster that was dead before appear here? Moreover, This is the territory of the female Emperor Boa Hancock, the captain of the first team of the Byzantine Yellow Pirates. All this is too coincidental, and things that are too coincidental are often the truth. Also shocked by the female Emperor Hancock were Kuzan and Kizaru, who were hiding in the dark. At this time, they also saw the fierce and mighty North Blue monster, the monster that should have died. They saw this monster with their own eyes, and it was cut in half by their Momoshiki Admiral sword, and the sea was stained with blood at that time. It's just how the monster appeared here. Could it be that Baizi knew that someone would covet the Lily Kingdom? Thinking about it, I was terrified. Kuzan Kizaru raised his spirits, and observation haki covered this sea area. After a little, it was Entvivi breathed a sigh of relief when he discovered the traces of Baizi and his party. It seemed that the guy wasn't crazy enough to besiege him. This is the monster that Baizi should have sent to protect the kingdom of Lily. Thinking of the power of this monster, the two of them stood on the sidelines and looked at Katakuri in the arena playfully. I am afraid that this kid is really going to die here today. Chapter 92 double the 6 king guns, Momoshiki shot. Above the sea. When Katakuri came back to his senses, he was furious when he saw that all 8 ships were destroyed. Armament haki filled the entire fist, and slammed into one of the tentacles with an angry blow. Open black lens bracket wax giant fist close black lens bracket. The wax filled with endless armament instantly turned into the size of a house, and slammed into the shot, and the towering tentacle did not stop at all, and slammed directly towards Katakuri's armament haki giant fist. The dark red Conqueror haki coerced the entire sea, and many soldiers on the coastline were stunned and speechless as they watched the battle of the surging waves. In a field that was truly ruining the world, the impact on them was too great. This kind of battle, they've seen it in their lives. It's terrifying. After the blow, Katakuri and the towering tentacles flew upside down. However, before Katakuri could react, the other 7 tentacles turned into thunder, and instantly turned into black lights and attacked Katakuri fiercely. During this time, after half of the ships had been destroyed, how many children of Charlotte Limlin died in this battle? Not good. Open black lens bracket wax defense close black lens bracket. Katakuri, who had just come back from the previous confrontation, felt the other 7 super advanced attacks that ripped through the air, and immediately his hands turned into waxy, extremely hard armament attached to it, firmly surrounding and guarding it, surrounding it. A spherical absolute defense with a radius of 5 feet was formed. With 7 attacks in succession, 7 towering tentacles with the thickness of the house attacked ruthlessly at the center of Katakuri, which had an absolute defense. Violent roars resounded one after another, and after the 7 attacks, although Katakuri insisted on defending absolutely and was not forced, he immediately spit out blood in the middle of it. The strong and terrifying force impact, although Mochi Mochi no Mi is cushioned, it is also very uncomfortable, and his face is pale. However, before Katakuri could breathe a sigh of relief, the other tentacle, which seemed to have shrunk in size by half, came straight to Katakuri's absolute defense that was on the verge of collapse. Loud roar of Katakuri was like a cannonball that was twitched thousands of feet, and then was instantly drawn into the sea, and this was undoubtedly worse for him who possessed the devil fruit. Immediately, Katakuri condensed the glutinous rice defense around his body to isolate the seawater. Great opportunity. Momoshiki, who had been waiting here for a long time, she jumped into the sea and killed Katakuri. However, her actions terrified Kuzan Kizaru and everyone on the marine battleship. It is a well-known fact that devil fruit people cannot easily go into the sea. Although the devil fruit awakens to a certain extent, it can develop the ability to resist the shadow of the sea. The strength is definitely greatly reduced. Kuzan and Kizaru, who originally wanted to enter the sea, hesitated for a while when they thought of the monsters before. They had a great chance of escaping on land and in the air, but if they were in the water, it would be a different matter. It's just that Momoshiki, as a fruit person, went into the sea so impulsive. They don't have the courage. They can only hope that Momoshiki Admiral can make a lot of himself. The remaining 9 pirate ships were all dumbfounded. Because, at this moment, the sea has fallen into an unprecedented calm. Their Katakuri Sama has disappeared, and the terrifying nightmare monster has also disappeared, only the rustling sea breeze is coming. The news also quickly spread to the main hall of Lily Kingdom. Your Highness, your two Highnesses. Outside the coastline, a giant monster suddenly appeared, blocking Katakuri and his party, and destroying half of the ship that Katakuri brought, and tens of thousands of pirates died. After listening to the report of their confidant, Sonia and Groud let the confidant continue to investigate the report. Sonia, is this Master Baizi? Hearing the report from his subordinates, Groud immediately stood up from his seat, and the news from Sister Hancock came to mind naturally. They said it was something that they didn't need to ask about this attack, and that someone else would solve it. Sure enough, Master Baizi has a hand, so that huge octopus monster was sent by Master Baizi to guard their Lily Kingdom. It seems that our Sister Hancock has a good captain. That's right, if Lord Baizi becomes the 5th Emperor of the New World in the future, then our Lily Kingdom will also prosper because of this. Sonia and the two sighed at the same time, the other side. Coastline waters, below 10,000 meters. Just as Katakuri was about to leave the deep sea and headed upwards, he heard a coquettish voice, Marine Rokushiki Ultimate Profound Truth, Multiplier 6 King's Spear. Immediately, a sturdy punch with 50% of the power, instantly bombarded the armament glutinous with the absolute defense of Katakuri. Without the slightest hesitation, the absolute defense of Katakuri was broken in an instant, and the endless sea water immediately flooded around Katakuri with Mochi Mochi no Mi. Immediately afterwards, Katakuri was miserable. Touching the sea water with him with devil fruit was no different from courting death, but with his tenacious will, he glanced at the opposite side, and he couldn't help but be horrified. Marine Admiral Momoshiki, why are you? Katakuri couldn't believe what he saw, that Momoshiki was another accomplice who killed his brother Cracker. Damn, why would it be her? Shoot. Stupid human beings, still don't understand. Just when Katakuri was stunned, another unfamiliar voice came over. Even Momoshiki was startled, because there was someone else here besides her. The two were surprised. It was under observation Haki that a glass-colored octopus with 6 tentacles came around. Feeling the terrifying yet familiar aura around the octopus, Momoshiki's eyelids twitched wildly, and he cried out in surprise. North Blue Monster, you are the North Blue Monster Kurakan who severely injured Katakuri before. What? Katakuri, who was in danger, heard Momoshiki's words, his eyes filled with disbelief, and the little guy in front of him turned out to be the deity from before. The towering tentacles. Hey, now that you know the deity, Katakuri kid, go die. The humanoid-sized demon appeared behind Katakuri in an instant, and pulled up a tentacle directly, more than 10 times faster than the towering tentacle. Charlotte Linlin's second son, Katakuri, one of the 3 desert stars, was instantly turned into a blood mist under his neck, floating in the seawater. Momoshiki on the side was startled that Katakuri, one of the 3 desert stars, was killed by an octopus in the end. The glass-colored octopus wrapped around Katakuri's head and threw it towards Momoshiki. Now, you've got the second protagonist that Bai Xiao gave you. Chapter 93 Katakuri dies in 10,000-meter deep-sea battle. Below the coastline, 10,000 meters of seabed. Looking at Katakuri, who was spitting out words and shot, and smashed the trash like Katakuri in seconds, Momoshiki was completely shocked. She couldn't believe what was happening in front of her. Because judging from the attack just now, it was obvious that during the Battle of Fishman Island, this guy was not at his peak level at all. Could it be that the smaller this guy is, the stronger his strength is? Momoshiki couldn't help but secretly became vigilant. Kidding, if Gengam's attack was her own, I'm afraid she would also be in a dead end. This different North Blue giant monster in front of her is full of extreme danger, and it is always showing that the strength of this octopus is far beyond her expectations. Bai Xiao, you are Ziza, man. Momoshiki didn't know what to call the North Blue monster for a while, an existence that made countless people terrified. Of course. If it wasn't for you, young Master Bai wouldn't let me come to this place where birds don't shit. The North Blue Giant Monster's slightly hoarse voice sounded, and then said, by the way, my name is Xiao Yao, and it was Bai Xiao who started it with me. You can also call me that in the future. I smelled the special medicine on you. It was given to you by young Master Bai. It seems that I trust you very much. Of course, the North Blue Monster can smell the smell of the restoration potion, because this woman's devil fruit ability is not afraid of seawater. I'm curious how strong you are now. Since getting the multiplier fruit, Momoshiki really wanted to know how strong he is now, and the North Blue Giant Monster on the opposite side is undoubtedly the best trial opponent. You can try it yourself. North Blue Giant Monster, who had not been beaten by the previous battle with Katakuri, was also very happy to hear Momoshiki's challenge. If that's the case, then I'm welcome. Sword intent, slash. Immediately, Momoshiki, who was underwater, directly soared the attack to the extreme, and instantly a slash hit the top, without leaving the slightest hand. The top swordsman who passed through space slashed and appeared in front of the little demon in an instant. As for the human-sized North Blue Monster in front of him, there was no timidity and panic in his pupils, and a glass-colored tentacle directly attacked. Boom! The instant the sword and the tentacle collided, a thunderous sound exploded, and then spread to all directions. The sea water squeezed by endless energy was within a radius of 5 feet per person, forming a vacuum. Good. Look at the trick. Open black lens bracket 6 King's Sword Intent Spear, close black lens bracket. Boom. After another pair of bombardments, many sea kings with a length of 500 or 600 feet, or even longer, scattered and fled in all directions. The destructive power of the battle between the two is too great. When they first fought, the few sea kings around 100 meters were instantly twisted into pieces. Bang 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 bang. Bang bang, 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 bang is quite intense. 1 minute, so. 5 minutes, still so. 10 minutes, still the same. Time passed by every minute and second, the whole sea was dead silent, and under 10,000 meters of the coast, there were fierce battles, and the sea was like a year. The next year is like the sun. Following another confrontation, one person and one beast retreated several tens of meters away. After one blow, they didn't make another shot. Now the two should be considered cooperation because of Bai Zi's relationship, not enemies. There is no need for life and death. Opposite. Hey, happy. As expected of the admiral that Bai Xiao fancy, you are very powerful. The North Blue Monster was in a particularly happy mood. This was the first time he had such a hearty battle after being transformed by Bai Zi's life. Either, I didn't expect that the Fishman Island battle was still not all his cards. Momoshiki was not happy because of the North Blue Giant Monster's praise, but admired the North Blue Giant Monster very much, and at the same time, his impression of Bai Zi was even deeper in his heart. What kind of magic power did that guy use to subdue such a ferocious existence as the North Blue Giant Monster, and it also transformed his intelligence qualitatively. After a little, battle ceased, and the entire seabed under 10,000 meters was directly ravaged by one person and one beast. Bai Xiao asked me to tell you that Yan Calamity and Katakuri are 2 steps that Bai Xiao has paved for you to build momentum. As for the later stage, he will also support it, but it will not be as strong as it is now. You can do it yourself. After finishing speaking, the glazed gold North Blue Giant Demon Octopus disappeared in front of his eyes and disappeared instantly, as if it had never happened at all. Stagnating for a while, Momosugi wiped the soles of his feet, Marine Rokushiki shaved it, and immediately turned into a stream of light, heading towards the sea above 10,000 meters, leaving this dark seabed. Anticipation of everyone, the sound of crashing waves sounded, and in the next instant, Momosugi broke out of the sea, and came to the deck of the marine battleship in a flash. Boom! Sound of an object hitting the deck, and the marine elites on many battleships looked over subconsciously, and at this sight, everyone was dumbfounded. How is this possible? Katakuri, it's him. Ha 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 ha, we won, we won, we won. As expected of Momosugi Admiral, Katakuri is really dead now. Amazing, God of War deserves its name. Awesome, my Momosugi Admiral, myth. Not only the many marines on the marine battleship, but also the Kuzan and Kizaru in the dark flashes of deep surprise. Katakuri was actually solved by Momosugi in the sea. As for the authenticity of the matter. Kidding, the bloody heads on the deck are the best proof. The guards of the many coastlines of the Lily Kingdom are also boiling, and they are about to jump with excitement. Dead. That Katakuri who came to attack them was killed by the newly promoted Momosugi Admiral. Incredible. It's unbelievable. So far, Charlotte Linlin, the hateful old woman, all three of her desert generals were wiped out, and Baizi killed them Smoothie and Cracker, while Momosugi is the man who killed the strongest desert 3 generals, and the reward amount is as high as 1.33 billion 3.2 million Bailey. Win. The tough war was over before it even sounded, and Momosugi in this room glanced in a certain direction. Don't hide the two of you, and then these tens of thousands of pirates from Charlotte Linlin will be handed over to you. Momosugi was talking to himself somewhere, and heard that many marine elites were dumbfounded, and had no idea what Momosugi Admiral was talking about. However, as soon as Momosugi's voice fell, there were 2 swishing voices. The next moment on the deck, familiar figures appeared on both sides of Momosugi, Kuzan on the left and Kizaru on the right. It's easy. Kizaru glanced at each other, and soon heard Kuzan's voice resounding hundreds of meters above the sky. Ice time capsule. An instant, dozens of air conditioning projectiles appeared in Kuzan's hands, and in the next instant, they accurately shot at the remaining stunned ships in Katakuri, instantly freezing all the remaining ships in Katakuri. Immediately, all the ships were turned into lifelike ice sculptures, and the pictures were beautiful. Please download Fei Lu's novel to see the underlined version of the novel. Chapter 94 Destroying Katakuri, the campaign kicked off. Open black lens bracket Yasukani no Magatama close black lens bracket. Above the sea, Kuzan cast a frozen fruit, and after freezing all the remaining pirate ships, Kizaru, his old partner, immediately used a wide-ranging trick. Next moment. Without Katakuri's many Charlotte Linlin subordinates, it seemed very unattractive, and immediately the remaining tens of thousands of pirates, including Charlotte Linlin's children, all died in this sea area. Scarlet blood watered the sea, and like the tens of thousands of pirates before, they all died, and the sea was dyed a dazzling red. Here, the tens of thousands of pirates brought by Katakuri, including him and many of his younger siblings, all died and were buried in the sea area of the Lily Kingdom. In this scene, there are many guards on the coastline of the Lily Kingdom, all with their eyes wide open, staring at the field, and a monstrous wave is set off in their hearts. Dead. All dead. After a while, Momosugi took a deep look at the Lily Kingdom, and with a wave of his hand, he walked away with Katakuri's head, and their goal has been achieved. Few minutes, Sonia and Groud also learned about the battle situation on the coastline. What did you say? Katakuri died, and all the people he brought were wiped out by the sudden arrival of Marine and 3 admirals. What happened? Why did Marine 3 Admiral appear here? The 2 Sonia Gorod sisters looked at each other. They couldn't believe what they heard. It was too incredible. Could it be that Lord Baizi's method is just Marine's Admiral? Shouldn't he be the enemy of Lord Baizi? Why? Meet Fishman Island, the headquarters of the Yanwang pirates. The voice of the Billy phone worm resounded, and Hancock answered the phone immediately. but she was always worried about the battle situation in the Lily Kingdom. Sister Hancock, the war is over, we won. Katakuri was killed by Marine's Momoshiki Admiral, and the remaining tens of thousands of pirates were killed by a monster, and Kuzan Kizaru killed the other half, and none of our coastline guards were injured. Listening to the news from the other end of the phone bug, Empress Hancock's eyes flashed, and she took a deep breath. Katakuri actually died. It was killed by that Marine Momoshiki Admiral. Hancock couldn't believe he was listening. Then, after learning about the current situation in the Lily Kingdom, the people in the hall breathed a sigh of relief, and their gazes fell on Baizi. On his body, the words that their captain had just said appeared in his mind. It turned out that all this was expected by the captain. Motherfucker, Katakuri, that, before the battle, the bounty of the Marine headquarters is as high as 1.3 billion 3.2 million Bailey, and he died at the hands of Marine Admiral Momoshiki. Charlotte Linlin, the Four Emperors, is really going crazy. Deserts 3 stars, 2 of them were killed by their Yanwang pirates, and now Momoshiki Admiral has killed the first-ranked Katakuri, and it's more than that. In addition to Katakuri, Marine killed many other Charlotte Linlin sons and daughters, and if Marine killed Charlotte's sons and daughters, they were much more than their Yanwang pirates. It's unimaginable. Marine is so tough this time, and that Momoshiki Admiral's strength has improved so much. Marine Headquarters, Sengoku Office. Sengoku, smoking a cigar on Bilibili, heard the phone bug. After receiving the news, he immediately stood up with a loud bang, his right hand shaking while smoking the cigar. All the cigars fell to the ground, and the ashes drifted in the wind. What? Katakuri is dead. Good. Ha 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 ha, great. Sengoku slapped the table with a slap, and the corners of his mouth were grinning to the back of his ears, but the news from the other side made Sengoku even more happy. Together with Katakuri, tens of thousands of pirates, and 7 children of Charlotte Linlin, great. Great. It seems that things can be announced. Knowing that Momoshiki had killed Yan Jajin and his party, Sengoku could not wait to make the good news public, but in the end he resisted the urge, because it would be even better if Momoshiki killed Charlotte Linlin's 3 most powerful desert generals, Katakuri, in one fell swoop. However, Momoshiki really did not let him down. He really killed Katakuri, and even more annihilated a group of cadres in one fell swoop. How many years? How many years? Remember the last time it was their hero Garp, but that was decades ago. A big happy event, knees at the door. You must know that a fire disaster and a Katakuri are 2 completely different effects. Their marine is about to come. However, if Sengoku knew that Momoshiki at this moment no longer belongs to their marine, I don't know how to react. I am afraid that he will have a big fight with Baizi. Of course, no one knows this at the moment. Hanging up the arc, Sengoku asked people to reveal this matter. They marine needed this record too much, especially after they experienced the Top War and the Fishman Island incident. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kaido of the Beasts, HQ. I haven't contacted Jin yet. The hill-like Kaido of the Beasts said to a subordinate in front of him, frowning slightly, somehow feeling that something big was about to happen these 2 days. Since that Baizi of the Yanwang pirates killed Jack of Drought and Queen of Epidemic, he never dared to underestimate that. Baizi, that's why he didn't go to Baizi to settle accounts in the first place, but to Momoshiki the reason. Captain, no, I haven't been in touch yet. The one in front of Kaido of the Beasts. Subordinate, hesitantly answered the question, because he knew very well that Kaido of the Beasts was very angry at the moment. As soon as Kaido of the Beasts didn't get in touch, there was a tendency for him to get angry on the spot, but before he could get angry, the door of the room was slammed open with a loud bang, and a Kaido of the Beasts cadre stumbled in with a pale face. Captain, it's not good. Something big has happened. The pale-faced cadre held a newspaper in his hand, and his eyes were full of horror and panic. That newspaper reported nothing else, but it was related to the first of their 3 major disasters, Yanjia. To be precise, it is not only related to the fire disaster, but also has a lot to do with the 6 Sons of the Sky and the cadres of their pirate group. Because the Yan Calamity Jin and the 6 Sons of Linkong who did not come back all died on a small island ambushing Momoshiki Admiral, the 5 or 6 that Jin brought, and the 1,000 men were wiped out by the entire army, and the culprit of all this was there for retaliation, Momoshiki Admiral. Chapter 95 _ The world boils. What's the matter? Kaido of the Beasts, who was ready to vent his anger, saw the cadre's horrified appearance. His face was gloomy, and his unpleasant feeling was even worse, but he was abruptly suppressed by him. Was his worst period, bar none. First, the captains of the 4 pirate regiments under his command were killed, and then the Love General Drought Jack and the Plague Queen were killed by Z one after another. Now his 3 disasters are only the embers of the fire, but they disappeared a few days ago. He disappeared without a trace, as if the world had evaporated. If something happened abnormally, there must be a monster. I'm afraid Jin has encountered a very difficult thing, otherwise there will be no news. Captain, Boss Jin and the others have an accident, you have to be mentally prepared. The cadre swallowed his saliva, suppressing the panic in his heart. Say. It's okay if this cadre doesn't say anything, and this makes Kaido of the Beasts feel even more bad. If this cadre can be like this, I'm afraid this matter is likely to be related to Jin. Sure enough, seeing the captain's face even more gloomy, the cadre's heart trembled, hoping that the captain would not be too mad and cruel. I can't explain a sentence or two, Captain, you should read the newspaper. After saying that, the cadre put the newspaper in front of Kaido of the Beasts, and at the same time signaled all the men around him to leave, and after putting the newspaper down, the cadre also stepped back several feet. Because he knew very well that the captain would definitely go crazy after reading the news in the newspaper. Boss Jin was killed just like Boss Queen and Boss Jack. This kind of blow was absolutely unprecedented for the captain who always guarded his shortcomings. Sure enough. Hearing the cadre's words, Kaido of the Beasts looked at the newspaper in front of him. The room also fell into the calm before the storm. Half a minute, 1 minute, 3 minutes. As the time passed by, Kaido of the Beasts looking at the newspaper, his face became more and more ugly, even scary. A certain moment, the emotions that had been brewing for several minutes immediately erupted without any warning, and the newspaper in front of him was instantly shattered by the uncontrollable anger around him and the extremely rich Conqueror haki. Then the dark red haki, centered on Kaido of the Beasts, swooped out and instantly enveloped this sea area. The entire Kaido of the Beasts subordinates, the captains and members of many pirate ships were all depressed and almost fainted. This breath is the captain, my god. What happened to make the captain so angry? Yeah, the first time I saw the captain so angry, is it because of Boss Jin? However, at this moment, a pirate member next to him looked at the center of the dark red haki with fear, and subconsciously swallowed. What do you know? I just saw our captain go to Captain Kaido's room. I think this matter is definitely related to the murder of Boss Jin. When this member said this, it was like a sudden sound in the entire headquarters of Kaido of the Beasts. What did you say? Boss Jin was killed. What? Immediately, everyone in the entire field was stunned. Boss Jin was killed, which was completely beyond the scope of their cognition. On their pirate ship, except for the captain of the pirate ship, the most powerful one was Boss Jin. How could their Boss Jin be? How could someone be killed? Hey, what's impossible? Name. The crew members gossiped to their companions with a sense of superiority. You don't believe me, do you? Come and read this newspaper. Said the crew member took out a newest newspaper from his pocket and unfolded it in front of everyone. After a while. What? Really, it turned out to be true. How is it possible, my god? Boss Jin was actually killed, and he was the Momoshiki Admiral of the Marine Headquarters, can't you? When did Momoshiki become so awesome? I'm darling, it's more than Boss Jin. You look at the 6 Sons of Linkong, and there are many cadres that. What kind of combat power is the newly promoted Momoshiki Admiral in Marine? who actually wiped out the entire army of Boss Jin and his party. Ah, hurry down, this, that. Momoshiki from the Marine headquarters even killed Katakuri, the 3 desert generals of the 4 emperors Charlotte Linlin, and 7 other children of Charlotte Linlin. Oh my god, this is crazy, that. Is Momoshiki Admiral of Marine headquarters crazy? He actually killed Boss Jin and Charlotte Linlin's only remaining desert star, Katakuri. That woman is so strong. How can this strength be admiral level, completely beyond the scope of admiral? That's right, our Boss Jin's strength is faintly above the grand prize. This Momoshiki's strength is absolutely unimaginable. Could she be comparable to our Captain Kaido? It shouldn't be possible. Many of Kaido of the Beast's men, all caught up in unprecedented heat. Crazy, all of them crazy. Wanokuni, Charlotte Linlin residence. Charlotte Linlin, who has always liked to eat cakes, has a gloomy and bleeding face, and at this moment, there is a newspaper in front of her, which is exactly the same as the newspaper that appeared in front of Kaido of the Beasts. Momoshiki. Bastard, that stinky bitch dared to kill my Katakuri-san, and even killed 7 of my children. I want you to die. Marine headquarters, you are courting death. Charlotte Linlin at this moment is completely angry. Those are all her children, and even the best Katakuri-san, and Katakuri is already the last of her Charlotte Linlin desert 3 generals. At this point, she couldn't help losing many children, and there were obvious faults in many of her cadres. In this way, Charlotte Linlin and Kaido of the Beasts fell directly from the strongest 2 emperors to the bottom. Strength of the 2 of them, I'm afraid they might have fallen out of the 4 emperors at this moment. Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin are like this, and the red hair pirates and whitebeard pirates on the other side are also completely given by Marine's news. Shocked. Able to kill the Fire Calamity Volley 6 and Katakuri's strength. I think with my toes to know how extraordinary the strength of the newly promoted Momoshiki Admiral from the Marine headquarters, the previous one. Akainu, I am afraid that it is definitely not the opponent of this Momoshiki. Kidding, that Akainu can destroy the fire and the 6 sons of the sky at the same time, and can kill Katakuri and many children of Charlotte Linlin. Stop kidding. Once this news from the Marine headquarters came out, it was originally a new world that was scrambled by the Yanwang pirates. Now it has been completely overturned by Momoshiki's maddening actions again, and a bloody storm of New World pirates, I am afraid, will kick off soon. Chapter 96_24 Emperors, declare war on Marine. After learning that Fire Beasts and Katakuri were killed by Momoshiki, Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin immediately went crazy and declared war with Marine headquarters. Deceiving. The Marine headquarters is really deceiving people this time. The 4 emperors who were both enduring and unbearable, mobilized all the elites under them at the same time to kill Marineford once again. Then Whitebeard saving Ace before. Although the 2 of them lost the 3 major disasters and the 3 desert stars, but the strength of the 2 monsters alone is enough for Marine to eat a pot. Although the 2 are less famous than Whitebeard, their strength is not much. Otherwise, it would not have formed the current situation of the 4 emperors. At a time when Momoshiki Admiral's reputation in the army was at its peak, the news that the 4 emperors declared war on Marine at the same time swept the whole new world like a hurricane. Whitebeard pirates. Goo la 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 la. The 4 emperors declared war at the same time, and Marineford will experience another bloody storm. Before Marine's Akainu died on the top, I don't know who will put the corpse on top this time. Whitebeard, who gulped down a gulp of spirits, was very happy, and at the same time, he was very pleased with Momoshiki Admiral who was attacking against the army. Kaido of the Beasts one after another, and Charlotte Linlin's actions, undoubtedly gave him a little bit of a good impression of Marine. How many years have passed? Will Marine have a legendary hero Garp born again? It's getting more interesting. Dad, should we take action? After all, Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin were both involved in the war before. Phoenix Marco, bored, took a sip of strong wine and said indifferently. Hearing this, Jozu clenched his fists. Yeah, Dad, if it wasn't for Baizi who went to war before, we'd definitely lose a lot. The other officials around also lowered their brows in thought, apparently agreeing with Marco and Josue's words. Participate. Listening to Marco and Josue's words, Whitebeard's mouth curved into an arc. Why should we participate? This sea area has been silent for too long, and we have been active for too long. In the future, opportunities like this will be left to young people. It is said that the fifth emperor of the New World should appear soon. Whitebeard's deep eyes looked in the direction of Fishman Island, the corners of his mouth curved in an inexplicable arc, and he whispered in his heart, "Ace, little friend Baizi, I look forward to your Yanwang pirates becoming the fifth emperor as soon as possible, and we will meet again at that time. There must be a fight. Although my father is old, I still don't want to miss the era of the great pirates." The fifth emperor. Dad, you mean Baizi's Yanwang pirates? Vista, the captain of the 5th Division, his eyes narrowed as if he had thought of something. Could it be that Baizi and the others will do something with this war? It can't be. If this is the case, then the 5th emperor is probably born in advance. Eyes of many squad captains shone, and they were looking forward to the next war on the top. Like Whitebeard, the red-haired pirates and the Revolutionary Army kept silent in tacit agreement, as if they had reached a special agreement. Fighting. No matter who wins or loses, it's good news for them. At the same time, Marine Headquarters. Sengoku Office. You are all clear about this matter, so let's talk about how to deal with it. Sengoku glanced at the many senior executives of the Marine Headquarters in the office, and said solemnly. Although he had thought of such a result, but when it really came, he still felt a little lack of confidence. After all, the other party was the existence of the two four emperors. As soon as Sengoku said this, the eyes of the surrounding people subconsciously focused on Momoshiki, because since Momoshiki killed Yanjajin and Katakuri one after another, there is no doubt that Momoshiki at this time is definitely the most powerful among them. Even Garp might not be her match. It's just that Sengoku has never looked for Garp, but he said that he is no longer a vice admiral rank, but an instructor who trains recruit. Besides, he doesn't want to pay attention to the conflict between Marine and the pirates. Seeing the old friend insist, Sengoku can only sigh and give up. Who made Marino him? To be honest, after the war, Garp did not retire and go home to retire for them. Marine has been very good for them. He wasn't surprised that he couldn't win Garp this time. Kaido of the Beasts, or Charlotte Linlin, I can hold one of them. Everyone's eyes. Momoshiki's first words startled everyone. Holding Kaido of the Beasts or Charlotte Linlin is the four emperors. Although Momoshiki's strength surpasses them, she is still not optimistic about her. How can they not know the strength of the four emperors is the high-level Marine Headquarters? Doesn't hold back the four emperors Momoshiki your strength. Sengoku is different. Hearing Momoshiki's words, he immediately thought of the multiplication fruit she got. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the room stunned and focused their eyes on Momoshiki again, and thoughts like Sengoku came to mind, even Kuzan Kizaru. Yes, my strength is now more advanced, almost twice as much as I have not obtained the multiplication fruit. Momoshiki didn't hide it, and told the truth that he showed his current combat power. The strength is twice before, isn't it? If that's the case, then it might be possible to hold back the fourth emperor. Many high-level executives who had no confidence at first, one by one, could not help but have some confidence in the coming four emperors. As for the other four emperors, I have a personal choice, maybe they can help us stop them. Thinking about Momoshiki for a moment, the voice came out, and Sengoku stood up from his seat with a bang. Who? Not only Sengoku, but Tsuru Vice Admiral all looked at Momoshiki, but she knew from the intelligence report that Whitebeard, the redhead, and even the Revolutionary Army had the slightest tendency to be dispatched. It is precisely because of this that she is even more curious, who has the ability to compete, and help their marine stop a new world standing at the top of the pyramid's four emperors. Every one of you knows this person, and you are very familiar with it, and you have also dealt with this person is. After Momoshiki succeeded in attracting everyone's attention, the corner of his mouth raised a deep arc. Captain of the Yanwang Pirates, Baizi. Words came out, everyone in Sengoku's office roared in their minds, and they went blank. They heard something about Baizi of the Yanwang Pirates, they heard it right, it's that. The big pirate Philo who was once attacked by their marine reminded them you. 3 things to read, collect, push. Chapter 97 Momoshiki Temptation, The Ultimate Blow. Baizi. Momoshiki's words made everyone in Sengoku's office thunder roll in their ears, and their eyelids jumped wildly. How is that possible? This is the unanimous opinion of everyone, and Suru Vice Admiral, who knows Momoshiki the most, has his eyes twinkling and wisely said, the enemy of the enemy is the friend. What Momoshiki said may not be impossible. What do you mean by that? Hearing that he agreed, Sengoku couldn't help but hurriedly asked, if that Baizi can really block a 4th emperor for their marine, it would definitely solve the biggest problem for them. Suru Vice Admiral did not directly answer Sengoku's words, but looked at Momoshiki. Go ahead. Hearing Suru Vice Admiral's words, Momoshiki nodded and began to say, although our marine headquarters is facing 2 emperors at the same time declaring war, this is not necessarily an opportunity for me, marine, to re-establish prestige. Opportunity. And like us, this time is also an excellent opportunity for Baizi, an opportunity to completely step into the threshold of the 5th emperor, and this opportunity is to hold off or even fight against Kaido of the Beasts, who is now relatively weak. Charlotte Linlin. Hearing Momoshiki's words, everyone's eyes flashed, because they knew Momoshiki Admiral was right. And the most important point, in the face of Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin, we are definitely partners. After all, don't forget, just before, the other 2 disasters and the 2 desert 3 stars all fell on in the hands of Baizi's Yanwang pirates. After these 2 have troubled us, the next person to look for is Baizi, although there is an irreconcilable conflict between us, but that has become the past, and now if we can take a look at the offensive of the 2 emperors, for as marine, the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. I have to say that the role of the Devil's Contract has become increasingly prominent. Momoshiki's subconscious decision will take into account the interests of Baizi and the Yanwang pirates. Even she herself does not know these subconscious things. So good, but who are we to contact? Hearing that, Kuzan frowned, knowing that they and Baizi's Yanwang pirates were in full swing before, and they looked like they were going to destroy each other. This was not an easy job. Since this suggestion was made by me, then this matter will be left to me to do. Momoshiki took this matter down without waiting for the others to speak. After all, he has a private interest relationship with that Baizi, and it is more convenient to communicate this. Sengoku immediately fell silent when he heard Momoshiki's words. Now Momoshiki is their marine's stabilizing needle. In a few days, they will still count on her to fight against the 4 emperors. It can be said that in this situation, any one of them present can have an accident, including him. Sengoku accidents can happen, but Momoshiki alone can't. Since Momoshiki has this strength, let her go. Suru Vice Admiral thought over and over again, and felt that Momoshiki would be the most suitable one, to show his sincerity, and secondly, if the other party overturned Momoshiki's strength, he would have the power to protect himself. A little while. This matter was ordered by Sengoku on the spot, and the matter was kept top secret. After all, this was a secret deal between Marine and the pirates, and it was something that could not be obtained. An unprecedented fatal blow. However, apart from this, they sincerely. I can't think of any other way to deal with the war provoked by the 2 emperors. It's not too late, I'll leave now. Momoshiki heard that, and after saying a word, his figure flashed, and the next moment he left the office, killing him in the direction of Fishman Island, leaving behind the stunned Sengoku and Kuzan Kizaru and others. Little while, after letting everyone leave the office, Sengoku and Suru Vice Admiral looked at each other, both seeing the expectation and worry in each other's eyes. Hopefully this Momoshiki will be successful. Sengoku sighed slightly and muttered to himself, if their marines were strong enough, why should they borrow the power of the Yanwang pirates? From what I know about Momoshiki, she will definitely do her best to persuade Baizi, and now the elite marines of each department have been summoned almost. This time is the most important battle for my marine to establish its prestige, and it must be won. No matter the cost, even if it costs my life. Sengoku took a deep breath and took a cigarette, his eyes shining with determination. This time is an excellent opportunity for their marine to make a name for themselves. No matter how much they pay, they will fight this battle beautifully. After half a day. A small uninhabited island not far from Fishman Island. Momoshiki has been on the island for a long time, waiting for the appearance of this target. Somehow she felt a little excited, and she couldn't say why. After a while, on the sea in the distance, a man stepping on a glass-colored octopus the size of a house appeared in the field of vision. From a distance, the picture was very impressive. That's the North Blue Demon. Sure enough, it was the North Blue monster that killed Katakuri. How much power does this guy have yet to use? Looking at the stunning glass-colored octopus, Momoshiki couldn't help but straighten her mind. Thinking of the worry in her heart when she came, she smiled for a moment. To be honest, she wasn't sure that she was the opponent of this miniature version of the North Blue monster until now. Before it was over, when Baizi came to the shore, the house-sized North Blue monster shrank sharply again, lying on Baizi's shoulders, dressed like a pet. Cute appearances at the moment, it is difficult for anyone to associate them with the savage North Blue monster who killed tens of thousands of marine elites before. I'm very curious, how strong is your North Blue giant demon subordinate? Although Momoshiki's strength has now soared by 50%, she still feels the extreme danger from the North Blue giant monster with golden color. This palm-sized North Blue monster actually gave him a life-threatening danger, and that's why Momoshiki asked. How strong you are, you can test it yourself. Hearing Momoshiki's words, Baizi looked at Momoshiki deeply. To be honest, he only had a rough guess as to how strong the little demon was, but he was definitely stronger than the admiral level. Good. Momoshiki didn't hesitate at all, and immediately the multiplier fruit's combat power doubled, and with a bang, the double Six Kings sword intent spear was used, and the book's pink fist with the sound of tearing the air instantly appeared in the palm-sized slap in front of the North Blue monster. However, at this moment, the glazed gold North Blue giant monster soared into the air, and instantly 8 small tentacles slammed into a pink fist that destroyed the sky and the earth. Chapter 98_Kaido of the Beasts. Dull sound of bang resounded, and in the next moment, a torrential wave was set off at the intersection, which instantly swept around, and the entire island trembled, as if a 10th magnitude earthquake had occurred. The air waves spread, and the seawater around the island set off waves that were more than 10 feet high. If anyone saw this scene, they would definitely be shocked. The confrontation between the two was really shocking. Between one man and one beast, the island was torn apart abruptly, almost splitting the island into 2 halves. A single blow is so terrifying. However, just after a single blow, Momoshiki stepped back several dozen feet away, while the opposite Luligan North Blue giant monster retreated only less than 5 feet back, and the superiors immediately judged. It was also after this attack that Momoshiki realized that before they co-authored the marine the self-righteous encirclement and suppression of Fishman Island, this North Blue giant monster is far from mercy. If the North Blue giant monster shot with all its strength, at this time, she is probably already dead and gone. Moreover, she had a feeling that this golden-colored North Blue monster even had the strength to fight against the 4 emperors. Strong. Too strong. This is Momoshiki's evaluation of the North Blue monster. Momoshiki's look at Baizi once again changed. The monster he subdued was so terrifying. She really couldn't imagine Baizi's strength. Fighting against the 4 emperors is completely possible with the strength of the North Blue giant monster. If Baizi's strength is added, the so-called 4 emperors in the New World will definitely be killed. Thinking of this, Momoshiki was even more excited. She knew very well that the purpose of her cooperation with Baizi was to destroy Tenryubito in the future. If she wanted to completely destroy Tenryubito, she had to deal with IM, the real ruler of the world government. A terrifying and desperate guy. He is also the leader of Tenryubito, the lord of the Void Throne, and even the Gorosei, 5 elders kneel before him. An extremely mysterious, extremely powerful, and extremely proud man. And this IM is also Momosegi's only fearful existence. If you let him know that he has the intention of subverting Tenryubito, he will definitely be wiped out immediately, and he may even be personally killed. Get started. As for IM's face, no one knows, even the Gorosei, 5 elders, because everyone who saw IM's face is dead. The airwaves returned to calm, as if nothing had happened, but the bottomless cracks showed what kind of terrifying aftermath had just been experienced here. It was also a blow that completely refreshed Momosegi's understanding of this private partner. Hold back the 4th Emperor with just the glazed gold North Blue giant monster. If Baizi makes a move, it is possible to kill the 4th Emperor. That is to say, at this time, Baizi already has the power of the Emperor. Strength and qualifications. The 5th Emperor really didn't expect that. At this time he was already waiting for his combat power. After the test, Momosegi was completely conquered by the strength of the North Blue monster, even when he told Marine's plan. A few days later. Marineford, above the sea. Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Limland set sail to kill the Marine headquarters. This time Marine has done too much and cannot be forgiven. And to deal with Marineford from Marine headquarters, kill that Momosegi admiral. By the way, they will go to Fishman Island and slap to death that little flea-like Yanwang pirates. Of the 4 emperors must not be violated. Kaido of the Beasts was the first to appear on the sea where the sea and the sky meet in Marineford, with nearly 100 ships behind him, all of them pressing towards Marineford. This time only there are nearly 100,000 pirates. Without the slightest strategy, they attacked Marineford directly. That Momosegi dared to openly kill his favorite general, Yan Jajin, and the 6 sons of Linkong. If Kaido of the Beasts does not retaliate for this hatred, how can the power of the 4 emperors be maintained? And here, Marineford, who has been waiting for a long time, on the city wall, Sengoku the Buddha, Momosegi, Kuzan, Kizaru, Suru Vice Admiral, etc. are lined up. In a trance, everyone's mind can't help but come to the execution of Ace. This time, how long does it take for Marineford to be attacked by another 4 emperors? Hundreds of thousands of elite marines regrouped on the city wall, looking at the crowded ships, swallowed their saliva uncontrollably. The level of madness of Kaido of the Beasts this time is much stronger than that of Whitebeard last time. Kaido of the Beasts is finally here. Yeah, I am afraid this war will be more tragic than the last war on the top. That's right, this Kaido of the Beasts is different from Whitebeard. At that time, Whitebeard had an old disease and was far from his peak. Otherwise, the loss we lost last time was not so small. However, Momosegi Admiral was so powerful that he even killed Fire Calamity Ash and Desert 3-star Katakuri one after another. Such combat power is definitely beyond the Admiral level. I'm looking forward to it. I seem to have seen another hero like Garp Vice Admiral in the near future. Facing the Kaido of the Beasts at their peak, and having experienced the rise of their Momosegi Admiral, many more than 100,000 marine elites not only did not have the slightest fear, but their hearts were filled with excitement. They are not without fear, but at this moment their excitement has completely overcome the fear of the 4 emperors in their hearts. When many marines were excited, a thunderous voice spread out, "Marine Admiral Momosegi, it's really good. How dare you to openly kill the fire embers under my heart? Now that I am Kaido of the Beasts, I want to see how many lives you marines have to fill." Kaido of the Beasts looked across the sea and stared at Sengoku the Buddha, who was standing on the city wall. Sengoku, I advise you to hand over Momosegi to me, or I will walk on Kaido of the Beasts. Flatten your marine headquarters Marineford. The roar pierced the sky, and even the white clouds in the sky were scattered by the town. Sengoku the Buddha, who was standing on the city wall, snorted coldly, and looked at Kaido of the Beasts sarcastically. After learning that Bai Zi would stop Charlotte Linlin, he really ignored Kaido of the Beasts. What a big breath. Tap down my marine headquarters, today I'm going to see how you Kaido of the Beasts pummel my Marineford. Sengoku looked solemn, and his eyes fell to Momoshiki. Momoshiki Admiral, Kaido of the Beasts will depend on you next. Although Sengoku's strength is not bad, it is still a little short of Kaido of the Beasts, and if their entire marine fights at the peak, except for Garp who has retreated to the second tier, I am afraid that Momoshiki in front of him has the ability to compete with Kaido of the Four Emperors. Battle of the Beasts. If that's the case, then you Marines, bear my wrath. Sing. The sound of Kaido of the Beasts fell, and the next moment, the sound of the dragon's roar, which pierced the sky, swept away, lingering in the sky above Marineford, like a real sonic attack, and everyone present heard ringing in their ears. Follow the reputation and look for a while. Everyone just saw the sky in front of them, and a figure of a dragon appeared in the air. This figure was none other than the Four Emperors Kaido of the Beasts after the transformation of the dragon. Of a dragon with 1,000 feet covered the sky, and a pair of dragon eyes stared at the opposite Marineford fiercely. Chapter 99 Momoshiki Kaido of the Beasts. Marineford, in front of the city wall like a giant beast, the dragon that covers the sky and roars, its ferocious fangs and dragon eyes are breathtaking, making people look cold. After the Shenlong, nearly 100,000 pirates stared at the Shenlong in the sky with fiery eyes, and their captains of the Four Emperors were full of excitement. This is the captain's transformation, ha 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 ha, the dragon transformation, those Marines are over. Mummy, this is the first time I see the captain's transformation. It's too big. It turned out to be the legendary dragon. Shenlong transformation, tisk tisk, I really didn't expect the captains to be the most powerful dragon fruit. Hey, this time Marine has completely annoyed the captain, those Marines are dead. That's right, it is said that when the red-haired boy challenged the captain, he didn't use the dragon to transform himself. Nearly 100,000 pirates couldn't be more excited, and they were full of hot discussions and complaints. They looked at the people above Marineford on the opposite side, and the corners of their mouths were full of playful arcs. This time, their Kaido of the Beasts boss is really angry. Not only the nearly 100,000 pirates behind Kaido of the Beasts, but also the more than 100,000 marine elites opposite Marineford, who were not far away. The behemoth was shocked. The Shenlong turned out to be the legendary Shenlong. The rumors in the New World are true. It is said that Kaido of the Beasts has a dragon-related devil fruit, but they never expected it to be a legendary one ancient dragon. This battle, many of the more than 100,000 marine elites who were originally confident, at this moment, looking at this situation, their eyes couldn't help looking at Momoshiki Admiral on the city wall. Can they really resist? Kaido of the Beasts deserves to be on the same level as Whitebeard, such a rare devil fruit is simply hopeless. This is completely beyond the level of human beings. Moreover, this is just Kaido of the Beasts. You must know that there is another Four Emperor Charlotte Linlin who came to Marineford this time. Whoever dares to kill me, go to die. Open black lens bracket dragon's breath close black lens bracket. Senrin's voice fell. Kaido of the Beasts, who turned into a dragon, spewed out a breath of energy that was several times hotter than magma. The speed was so fast that in the blink of an eye, it cut through the air and came to the sky above Marineford. Open black lens bracket defensive ice shield close black lens bracket. Without the slightest hesitation, Kuzan, one of the 3 Admiral Marines, inserted his hands into the ground, and instantly erected a huge ice shield that was thousands of meters high in front of the entire Marineford. The moment the ice shield was formed, the heat of fear bombarded it, and the unparalleled energy instantly evaporated all the tens of meters of ice shield, and Yue was attacked again. Open black lens bracket Yatada mirror close black lens bracket. Without the slightest hesitation, Kizaru's figure flashed before the giant pillar of energy, forming a mirror directly in his hand, and then a beam of light came up to meet it, over Marineford, with the fierce heat of the dragon of Kaido of the Beasts. bumped together. Bang! Immediately above the sea in front of Marineford, the waves of thousands of feet suddenly rose into the sky, and it took a long time to see the end of the aftermath. One blow, the two admirals shot in succession before they were able to block the blow of Kaido of the Beasts, who turned into a dragon. Can be seen that the strength of Kaido of the Beasts is not comparable to that of Whitebeard, who was suffering from old diseases in the war. Really good strength. Dragon hung in the air, with its huge dragon head facing Marineford, looking deeply at Kuzan and Kizaru who blocked his blow, but then he sneered, "If that's the case, then I won't let go." Open black lens bracket dragon swinging tail close black lens bracket. A bang, the body of a 1,000-foot dragon came to Marineford in an instant, and the savage and domineering tail-wagging blow directly and ruthlessly directed towards the Marineford city wall, to be precise, where Momoshiki was located. If this is drawn, the entire city wall of Marineford will be smashed to shreds. When first a marine, no one can't do it. A domineering dragon waving its tail. If Momoshiki didn't dare to resist it before, but now she is not. Before, she immediately stepped on the moon step, disappeared from the place in an instant, and reappeared the dragon's tail that was already more than 100 meters away. Below. Without the slightest sluggishness, a punch suddenly slammed out in an instant. Marine Rokushiki Ultimate Profound Truth Open black lens bracket 6 King's Spear, close black lens bracket. There were no fancy movements, a dragon tail, a fist, collided with pure force in an instant. There was a thunderous explosion, and the Marineford swept away in an instant, centered on one person and one dragon, destroying the air waves that annihilated the earth immediately spread to the air, and the marine and pirates on both sides could faintly feel the oncoming heat waves. The ground on the shore of Marineford suddenly burst into a crack of unknown length, several feet wide and bottomless. Destroying the sky and destroying the earth. It is really destroying the sky and destroying the earth, a world-shattering war. After the loud noise, Momoshiki stepped back more than 100 feet, and the 1,000-foot dragon on the opposite side also retreated a few dozen feet away, and one person and one dragon died in the air, with a dignified flash in his eyes. Slightly sour right fist, Momoshiki took a deep breath, took out the transparent potion from his hand, and took it immediately. This potion is nothing else, it was just another bottle he gave him when he parted with Baizi before. Restoration Potion. After taking it, Momoshiki felt as if her body and mind were baptized. The next moment, she was extremely excited, and the surging power in her body soared again. All of this is invisible, and no one has ever seen it. Kaido of the Beasts, who turned into a dragon, his eyes were cold, and he said, "No wonder you have the ability to kill Yan Zonjin and Linkong Luzi. It seems that you really underestimate you. You talk too much." Momoshiki in the air held a samurai sword in both hands, the momentum of the whole body rose sharply, and the unparalleled sword intent continued to pour into the samurai sword, just like the real sword intent, forming a vacuum zone within 5 feet of Momoshiki's body. Such a scene, Kuzan Kizaru watching, including Sengoku, were all stunned. Because they found that Momoshiki's strength has exceeded twice the original strength at the moment, is she stronger again? Sengoku, our marine is afraid that another marine hero has appeared this time, and Momoshiki may be better than Garp. Suru Vice Admiral stared at the sky with his eyes narrowed, and his sword intent rose to the extreme, and this kind of strength may have surpassed the level of a great swordsman. Sengoku's eyes flickered, staring blankly at Momoshiki Admiral, who was showing his might, and muttered to himself, "Yeah, it seems that I'm getting old, this world will eventually be handed over to these young people." Sengoku stared deeply at Momoshiki in the field, his eyes became determined, as if he had made some kind of determination. Chapter 100 Against the Four Emperors Charlotte Linlin. Marineford, Sea Air. Cut. The infinite sword intent converged from the samurai swords Momoshiki held in both hands, and in the next instant, a sword beam of several hundred meters appeared in the air, and instantly slashed towards Kaido of the Beasts in the distance. Open black lens bracket dragon claw close black lens bracket. Immediately, armament, huge dragon claws were filled with all of them. On the entire dragon body, there was a dark red haki coercion in all directions, and the observation haki was even more open. The three-color haki was used to the extreme here by Kaido of the beasts. It suddenly turned into a streamer and moved towards the sword beams of hundreds of meters. Zhang Daomeng was actually smashed by the claw of Kaido of the beasts, who was the body of the dragon, and then the thunder claw took Momosegi's mouth directly, as if traveling through time and space, and arrived in an instant. Open black lens bracket multiplier 6 King's Spear, close black lens bracket. It was in this room that Momosegi also stopped holding his hands, and directly poured all the power of the multiplier fruit, which had doubled the combat power, into his fist, and slammed it with Thunder's claw. Immediately after the next moment, the body of the dragon, which was over 1,000 meters tall, was forced to stop by Momosegi, and flew out several dozen meters. Above Marineford, the scalps of more than 100,000 marine elites were numb, and they raised their heads to the sky and shouted, "God of War!" Exclamation mark. Quote. God of War! God of War! The scene, everything was blown up. It was true that their Momosegi Admiral's strength was beyond their expectations, and even the marine elites such as Kuzan Kizaru and Sengoku were fooled. Kidding, where is Momosegi's combat power holding back at this time? This is a stance against Kaido of the beasts. Awesome, Momosegi is really amazing. At this time Momosegi already has the qualifications to challenge the four emperors. Well, this kind of combat power is afraid that Garp is inferior to it. After all, Garp at this moment has lost the ambition of his youth. While Marineford was fighting fiercely, the other side was hundreds of kilometers away from here. The other four emperors, Charlotte Linlin, came with many children and subordinates under her command. Although there were not nearly 100,000 of Kaido of the beasts, there were also 7 or 8, and 10,000 pirates. The highest point on the pirate ship Anthem. A pirate in charge of reconnaissance and lookout, through the telescope, saw several ships lying across the sea in the distance. This is not the most important. The most important thing is that the flag on the pirate ship, the golden 5-claw soaring ferocious dragon pattern, this pattern is nothing else, it is the recently famous Yanwang pirates. Moreover, it was this pirate group that killed their 2 Desert 3 generals, Smoothie, Sama and Cracker, Sama, one after another. His Baizi is the Yanwang pirates, and they actually appeared here. Charlotte Linlin crew member who was in charge of the investigation, his pupils shrank suddenly, and a harsh sound wave came from the Anthem. As soon as these words came out, the entire crew of the Anthem immediately jumped in their hearts. Yanwang pirates, they are all too familiar with the name Baizi. It can be said that this name is the main culprit of the humiliation of their pirates. Their Smoothie and Cracker were killed by this guy. It can be said that in terms of sin, this one is bigger than that. Marine Admiral Momosegi. Word spread, the pirates and officers of the more than 20 pirate ships around were all shocked, and their eyes subconsciously looked at the sea area ahead. Sure enough, there were several pirate ships floating on the sea at a distance of several hundred meters in front of them, and the pirate flag on it was the pirate flag of the Yanwang pirates. The Yanwang pirates are actually the Yanwang pirates. Quote. They are so daring to appear here openly, is this preventing us from going to Marineford? Bastard, they killed Lord Smoothie and Lord Cracker, they're dead. When they appear at this time, Mama won't let them go. For a time, tens of thousands of Charlotte Linlin's subordinates looked at Baizi and his party with cruel eyes, and they were all too familiar with their captain's temperament. Moreover, they were still declaring war with the Yanwang pirates, which meant that the war was going to start early. The noise from outside the ship quickly reached Charlotte Linlin's ears. Not surprisingly. Immediately, Charlotte Linlin exploded. What? That nasty boy Baizi actually blocked our way. Looking for death. Old hatred, Charlotte Linlin immediately appeared on the deck, looked across the sea, and sure enough, she saw that. The kid she dreamed of killing. Zeus, take me there. Charlotte Linlin, who was furious and her eyes were red, immediately ordered her crony Layan Zeus to step on it and come into the air. Yanwang Pirates. Boy by Z. Die. Charlotte Linlin, who had lost the love of the two desert three generals, didn't talk nonsense, and immediately killed the ship whereby Z was in one move. Open black lens bracket the gun of Elbath, powerful kingdom close black lens bracket. Immediately, Charlotte Linlin slashed towards several ships in by Z with one hit, and the giant sword Chi of Love for You suddenly slammed, and the speed can be said to be reaching its peak. Open black lens bracket gravity barrier close black lens bracket. By Z could make a move. Fujitora Isho on the side was the first to erect a gravity barrier in front of the ship, but obviously underestimated Charlotte Linlin's attack. Boom. Sound. Was like the sound of bubbles breaking on the water, piercing the air and resonating in the ears of Bai Z and his group. Fujitora Isho's face suddenly paled, and then he groaned. Obviously, the first time we played against Fujitora Isho suffered a dark loss. However, after the gravitational barrier was broken, Charlotte Linlin's mighty kingdom did not end, but continued to attack Bai Z and his party's ships rapidly. When Ryokugyu saw the attack, he slammed into it with a smashing punch, and even when the aftermath of Charlotte Linlin's mighty kingdom was smashed away, the surrounding water immediately splashed with waves of more than 100 meters. Only the aftermath is like this, which shows how powerful Charlotte Linlin's move is. As expected of the two vice captains of the Yanwang Pirates. But Jin can't stop me and you with this. Boy, Bai Z, go to hell. Emperor's sword breaks 5, blade. Immediately, the sun Prometheus injected into the broadsword, and once again slashed at Bai Z and his party. This attack was much stronger than the previous one. The speed is so fast that it is even worse than the previous one. In a blink of an eye, it is near. Open black lens bracket air shock close black lens bracket. Who was standing on the deck, raised his right hand and slapped it towards the front and above, and then the Emperor's sword, which was originally attacking, immediately collided with Kong Gen. Of destroying the sky and destroying the earth rang in the ears like thunder, and waves of thousands of meters were raised on the sea surface. The entire sea area was devastated.